Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Hello, my name's Aaron Brown from the Garage Shop in Denver, North Carolina. We're here at the famous Bonneville Speedway in Wendover, Utah. One of the most harshest environments on the planet to race in, and that's why we need the best tools Snap-on has to offer. What we use here to pump up the oil in our race engines to prime them is this Snap-on screw gun. With its variable speed and high torque, this allows us to spin our oil pumps up to 1,500 RPMs, creating 70 pounds of oil pressure, which helps us get everything settled in, nice and happy, and turn the hot oil through the engine. Compact, lightweight, and able to fit in really tight spaces. Its 9-position clutch allows us to torque things, nuts, bolts, from 8-inch to 50-inch pounds. Small size and high performance helps us get into many places on a race car where normal tools can't. Under the dash and the engine compartment, we also use this to drill a lot of holes in very tight spots.
The CIL takes a stroll down Broadway to an area east of Nashville known as Lebanon, Tennessee for some action-packed racing at a fast concrete intermediate speedway. Coming to you live from the virtual Nashville Super Speedway, it's the Garage Shop College Cup Series presented by the Collegiate iRacing League. Alongside me is a man with multiple talents, producer and co-commentator Christian Hill. Tonight, I'm Brad Daniels, welcoming you to the 5th round of the 2024 Garage Shop College Cup Series. And first things first, how you doing tonight, Christian? I don't think we're going to hear any negative comments about that, Christian. So first things first, let's take a look at these points. It's been a very interesting first half of the season here, and I think a couple things to note. For those who have been watching the CIL this season, we've been seeing Oklahoma dominate these first 4 races, but as you can see, Drew Williams is right up there, tied for the lead from Clemson University. So that top 3 separated by 1 point. And I mean, Drew is not technically locked into the playoffs, but he is pretty far away from that cutoff line of 10th place right now. As you can see, Mr. 4 for 4, Jared Kaler in 4th position after 4 races at 137 points. Got a couple 16 points to get up to that top 3, but he has a good bubble back to the 5th place Matthew Burton. And then after that, you can also see some other fast guys, such as the 2 Ball State machines of R. Muhammad Alif and Andrew Stagey, Edwin Onofre in 8th, Jake Cummings in 9th, and then rounding out your top 10, Brandon Schoenberger from Wingate.
Yeah, those top four are really close. Then you got like a group of, I guess, 6 out, because I mean 97 to 107, you only have a 10-point gap. But that 137 to 154, there's not that many points in between. Not even 20. I guess there's 18 points in between them. So that can be made up pretty quickly. But yeah, you have that group at the top, and then you have that group at the bottom. Moving on to the next page, you have Daniel Nanny starting off the 11th. With 96 points again, he's in that group. But then you start to fall down with like Clint, Ryan, Bryce, Andrew, even Andrew and Stockner, they're all grouped together. But unfortunately, Nick's not going to be running tonight. But he actually lent Drew Williams his rig, where Drew was affected by the hurricane, and all of our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by that hurricane down south. So definitely hope you guys have power soon and can get better from that.
Teammates helping teammates. I mean, Clemson, Ball State, I mean, Oklahoma, it seems like, all the schools are helping each other out no matter the circumstance. And as he said, Drew Williams getting help from Nick Stockner tonight. And again, our thoughts and prayers are out with those families affected by the hurricane. Now we're moving down to the outside of the top 20. You can see some fast guys such as Garrett Vuitton, Jake Hall, Jason Wallet, and Logan Smith, some others that are very fast, but find themselves out of the top 20 line right now. They're hoping for the second half of the season to be a little more on the upside. Maybe they're gonna have to get a little more consistent with the finishing positions, but I think there's a couple guys here that definitely can make their way into the playoffs.
Yeah, Charles Wembley is a driver we used to see, or we saw up in the playoffs last year. Definitely a very fast driver. I've seen him in a couple of other leagues running, and I think he's just missed a few races to where he's a little low in points, but he always does well, and I'm excited to see what he can do the rest of the season. We're just gonna continue on just a couple of other people to point out. Ben Fiore, Ethan Decatur, they're pretty quick. Landon Velicki's a long time racer here, but then we have people like Connor Bingle, Devin Defoe, Lee Kane, Sky Shrek's another one to keep your eye out for. Definitely can pop up here and there. Walker Green, another new person. And then we'll go top 50 with Matthew Nordberg. He's one of those ones who can have great potential, great racing, but is just unfortunately just held back between work. He travels a lot, so some of our alumni just can't manage to race every week, unfortunately.
And I know I've raced with Matt. He is very fast. But yeah, some alumni have some outside stuff going on, so they can't make every race. But still, they are a lot of fast guys in the top 50. So now looking into the past year, looking into the future, we're going into the second half of the season with a very diverse set of 4 race courses going into the playoffs. We're starting here in Nashville, the shortest track, believe it or not, in the regular season. Not until we get to really Phoenix and Bristol. That's when the next quote unquote shorter track is. This is still an intermediate, but then we go at Road Atlanta, road course for all of those road course lovers. Chicagoland, 1.5 mile track, and then finishing off at New Atlanta. Tristan, do you see any track here that really brings a lot of RTI?
Yeah, so next week, I'm really excited for Road Atlanta. That's going to be a first for the CIL. It's going to be a first for most because the college, the NASCAR doesn't even go there. So it'll be a fun one. We have a custom setup from McConey Setup Shop. our setup provider for season 11. But yeah, I've been working with the setup creator, and I think it's going to be a really fun race. Road Atlanta is a blast to drive, and it's been a blast. I've been doing some testing in it. It's going to be a blast to drive in the Cup car, so I'm excited for that. And then obviously Watkins Glen, but everyone knows I'm a sim for Watkins Glen.
I mean, Watkins Glen, it is an amazing course. I mean, both of these road courses we're going to, some of the best in the world. I'm going to be real interested, like you said, with that Road Atlanta setup, seeing how the cars react to a track that they have really never gone to. And I mean, Nashville's somewhat new to CIL drivers and the Cup Series guys in real life. We've only been here a couple times, I mean, 2 times, and currently there's nobody on the current roster that has won here. The past 2 times have been Matthew Morton, who has been away this season. So we might see a new winner at Nashville tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of Nashville, let's take a good look at this track here. This is a super speed. Well, it is classified as a super speedway. It goes back and forth on what you want to define it as. You definitely need to lift in some of these corners. It is not a flat-footed. It is not Talladega. It is not Daytona. However, it is fast, and it does have some pretty quick corners, depending on the car, the track, or excuse me, the car combo you're doing here.
Yeah, and this track, it's all concrete and a lot of speed. I mean, I tell you what, it's a little under 30 seconds a lap here, and you can see it's 1 1/3 miles. And then you have a D-shaped oval here, so even though it's not your typical kind of tri-oval, it still holds a lot of speed. And you see that 2 seasons ago was the first time we've been here, and I think we are in for a heck of a night here. And technically not Nashville, Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think the race name is oh gosh, it's not technically in Lebanon or something like that. I'm sorry. Yep. I just
it's actually in Lebanon. That is the race tonight.
Yes. All right. Well, let's take a quick look at we're actually going to have Charles Wembley up for our qualifying video here tonight.
You can see Wembley's taking that inside line through the tri-oval and staying a little above the apron here. I mean, a lot of these tracks, I mean, the apron is going to be, the shortest way around the track, but doesn't mean the fastest. And you can see he's staying away from that apron, going all the way up to the wall and into turn 3, pretty much taking that same exact line, almost a half car length up, and then getting down to the apron, coming out of turn 4. All, like you said, it is not technically a super speedway. You can't flat foot it, but these guys are definitely carrying a lot of speed at this 1 1/3 track here.
Yeah, definitely carrying quite a bit of speed there, and I think it's going to be a good one there. We've come here I think twice now. I think this is our second time coming here. Correct me if I'm wrong. So definitely not a track that we're used to, but it's definitely a track people still drive quite a bit. And we're definitely going to see some good racing here. I think this is a different track compared to the rest. It's on 1.5 miles, it's 1.33, and it's fast. It's got high banking, so I think it'll be something that's going to be fun for everyone. And I think it's going to be a really good race to watch.
Definitely, and I think that this track, it really, like you said, I mean, there's been a lot of truck races here, a lot of Xfinity. I mean, the Cup Series just came here, and we're just starting to get our rounds with it. So I think we're going to see a lot of fast guys such as Drew Williams. In the prior race, he was very fast here. And then some others, I mean, obviously the Oklahoma duo seem to make their way up to the front this season somehow, some way. And then, others like Ball State, some other Clemson drivers. There's going to be, I think, a lot of movement at the front, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and see we will. How about we get started with the grid for tonight? Why don't you take us off there?
Absolutely. So, out here, pole position, R. Muhammad Ali from Ball State University, clocking in at a 29.682, and finishing the front row here is Jake Cummings from Converse University. In row 2, Mr. Consistent, Jared Kaler, in the 3rd position. From UNC Charlotte, and in the 4th position, John Hagan from the University of Oklahoma. In 5th, we have Lucas Moody from Ball State. And in 6th, we have Clint Halterman, the Jared's teammate from UNC Charlotte. In 7th, we rode along with him in qualifying Charles Wembley from Guilford College. And in 8th, Brandon Schoenberger from Wingate. And rounding out your top 10, Daniel Nanny in 9th place, and Bryce Kobler finishing in your top 10 here for qualifying.
Moving on to P11, we have Ryan Whitlock from UAH, followed by Kelton Quick from Ball State University, followed by Jason Wallet from Drexel University. In 14th, we have Edward Sanchez from Baruch College. Andrew Stagey, another driver from Ball State University, in 15th, followed by Matthew Burton, East Tennessee State University, in 16th. 17th, we have Sky Schreck, one of our FC commentators from University of Oklahoma. They're a powerful team this year, followed by Edwin Onofre, University of North Texas, with a Red Bull helmet. Interesting. 19th, we have Oscar Enriquez from George Mason University, followed by Alex Finnerty from UNC Charlotte, one of Jared or Mr. Consistency's teammates.
And 21st, Ben Fior from Marist College. And to his outside, Drew Williams from Clemson University, your current points leader. In 23rd, we got 79 of Ben Neller from Ball State. And to his outside, Landon Velicky from Auburn University. In 25th, another Clemson guy, Andrew Burrell. And Logan Smith to his outside from Auburn University. In 27th, Ricky Paz from East Carolina University. And in 28th, Mario Miranda trying to make his way up through the field to see if he can go 3 for 5 and continue Oklahoma's streak here. And rounding out your top 30, the 53 of Roger Primo from Paul Smith College and Garrett Vuitton from ASU.
We have P31 Jordan Byers from Pennsylvania State University, followed by Carter Capini from Paul Smith College. We have quite a few of those in the race tonight. Esteban Munoz from FIU, followed by Devin Defoe, from University of Arizona in 34th. 35th, we have Nathan Crone from University of Toledo, followed by Connor Bingle from UAH as well. Quite a few of those as well. Logan Harpine from East Tennessee State University, followed by Wesley Shaw, Texas A&M University, Texarkana. Wow. Dylan Godinez from Penn College of Technology, followed by Alan Hong, St. Clair College. I'll just finish off the last few here from Kiefer Phillips from University of Toledo, 42nd, Lee Kane from University of Southern Mississippi. And then our last driver to make it in is Andrew McManus from University of Toledo. And our first out is going to be Connor Martin from East Tennessee State University. The rest of these drivers are not in. Actually, that's it. Connor Martin, unfortunately, was the only driver not to make it tonight.
Well, we fielded all 43 cars tonight. We're ready for dare to say a honky tonk down in Nashville. It's going to be a wild one. I mean, this track offers a lot of speed, but also a lot of calamity can happen. But well, I guess we'll have to see. I think really my first thoughts here, seeing this top 5, seeing some speed from Alif, Jake Cummings, Jared Kaler in his spot like usual. I mean, he's in 3rd, so I guess he'll have to drop back a spot. And then Don Hagen. I mean, these 4 guys here and Lucas Moody really show speed. And Christian, what are you expecting tonight?
Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot to happen. I mean, like I said, Nashville is not one of our common races. Common Nashville Super Speedway is not one of our common tracks. So it's definitely going to be a new one. It's definitely going to be interesting. And I think we have a nice mix-up of drivers up there. We have Charles Wembley, who's not usually here, but I mean, he's a powerful driver. We have Jared Kaler, who's in 3rd, and he's a really good driver. I mean, he's a multi-CIL champion. But we have our usuals then, Clint Halterman. So we have these new drivers, we have old drivers, we have consistent drivers. We have everyone together, and I think it's going to be, honestly, I think it's going to be a really, really good race. While we're at it, let's take a look at our race analysis.
And first things first, I mean, we got 200 miles here like usual, 150 laps at Nashville. Stage break is at lap 70, so we'll make sure to note after lap 65, any caution that falls, that is the end of the first stage. And then as you can see, the pit lane time and the pit speed pretty slow. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of strategy if this thing goes green. And really, the fuel window there, 50 to 55 laps, it is pretty, I mean, that is pretty far comparative to these tires can get really degraded, especially on this concrete. So I'm expecting to see a lot of strategy call. And I'm thinking, I mean, that can help some of these guys that started in the further back, like Andrew Williams, Mario Miranda, and maybe some of these other guys that we don't see typically at the front make their way to the front.
Yeah, I mean, we have some people starting up front who, you know, we don't normally see starting up front. A Leaf, although he's an exceptional road driver, I mean, we see him here and there up in, you know, up at the front, but I don't think I've ever seen him qualify first. He's always close. I think he's in the, you know, top 5, but from my knowledge, I don't think he's ever qualified first. So this is a really good start for a Leaf.
A Leaf has that killer paint scheme right now, but rolling up to the green flag here. Pace car lights are still on here. We got one more time, let the field set up. And Christian, I know it's probably bad juju to pick a favorite here or have a driver pick, but who do you see taking that trophy home from Nashville?
If you were going to ask me who do you think would come in 4th, I think I could tell you, but who do I think could win? It's a toss-up this season. I mean, we've had so many different winners this season. However, I think Jared Kaler, I want to put my money down that I think Jared Kaler is going to break the streak. I think he's going to break the 4th place, the 4-4s, and I think he's going to take a win tonight.
Hey, I mean, if I was Jared, I would want to break it that way as well. That UNC Charlotte machine, I mean, it's always fast. You see it always make its way to the front, and you can see Clint Halterman to his outside there. I mean, these two cars are juiced up, ready to go every race, and no matter what, I think they'll find their way to the front.
Yeah, Jay Cummings is a fast one. Clint Halterman, John Hagan, Lucas Moody. I mean, everyone towards the front is just wildly fast. I mean, you have even Daniel Nanny, who he almost won last year. He was runner up. So you have quite a few people, quite really, really good drivers up front, and I think it's going to be an exceptional race.
And as a pace car goes down on the pit lane, our Muhammad Alif controls the field here, and we are underway in Nashville. Caution coming into turn 3 and 4 there. I couldn't tell what cars were involved.
We got Edward Sanchez involved. I gotta take a closer look at that, but yeah, I saw Edward Sanchez start getting sliding with, I believe, was Logan Harpine and maybe Bryce Kobler, excuse me. So we'll have to take a double look at that. Garrett Vitton, or Viton, excuse me, back in 39th.
Some early commotion going on here. Not even one full lap. We got a couple cars down. I mean, I don't know if it looked like there was a couple hard hits, so I think some people's day might be done before it even started. We'll have to see. It looks like Edward Sanchez was able to make his way out of it and pretty unfazed. You can see going into turn 3 here, the 26 machines like looking in the middle, but Jason Wallet on the inside gets a little bump potentially, but it looks like he's just sprung up into the 5 of Bryce Kobler, and they go spinning. The 33 of Matthew Burt gets involved a little bit, but as you can see, a majority of the field is able to avoid it. That 5 machine head on into the wall, unfortunately. I mean, the tires are cold, so I mean, it's gonna happen sometimes, but I'm happy to see really no car except Bryce Kobler really got too affected. We'll see if Bryce can make his way back.
Yeah, I mean, everyone did an exceptional job at dodging that wreck. That was a really good what do you call it, crash avoidance there for the drivers here. Hey, a second. The only person who ended up taking damage might have been the number 5 of Bryce Kobler.
I mean, he has all race to fix it up if he needs to, but unfortunate start really before it even got to the, I mean, really just finished before he even got to the start there. So hope for the best. Hopefully he can get that thing back on track, get, you know, his laps back and make his way up through the field if that car is able to get back to it. But you see that teal 12 machine of R. Muhammad Alif able to keep the lead through the opening 3 corners. Really, I mean, the top 4 or 5, I mean, it was only 3 corners, so I guess no one really would have got shifted too much without help. So pretty similar. It looks like John Hagan made his way around Jared Kaler for the 3rd position. That's about all that happened towards the front.
Yeah, so we're gonna have the lap 1 incident there with car 26 is gonna get an EOL and a strike added to their record for avoidable contact with the number 5. Now, I don't like to kind of debate that, but don't you think that it was also a bit on the 76?
I mean, I think there is a voice that can be heard, you know, for saying the 76 initiated it, but I don't think there was any real contact. I think, you know, the 26 might have got a little in the gas, you know, a little scared when he saw the 76 to his inside. I think that's what happened, but I could definitely see where you're coming from, Christian.
Yeah, I think from our angle that it definitely, you know, I guess it looked like he kind of gave him a tap, but you know, now that I think about it, yeah, he might have just kind of spooked him.
A little spookiness going on down here in Nashville. Pace car's back on pit road. R. Muhammad Alif leads the field. A little bit of a checkup going into the restart zone, and away they go. As you can see, the whole field got balled up there.
Yeah, that could definitely happen on restarts, especially these types of restarts where, I mean, this is basically the start of the race. They want to go. They want to try to gain as many positions as they can on at the start of the race. I know people say you can't win a race off of, on the first lap, but you can gain a lot of positions out of it.
Definitely get yourself in a good position. I see Daniel Nanny's making his way, he was trying to make it 3 wide there, didn't work out for him, and now it looks like just a consistent 2-way battle all the way back through the field here. As you can see, Charles Wembley up to the 5th position, passing Lucas Moody.
Yeah, we still have this gaggle here. They're kind of going 3 wide. They're sticking 2 wide. We're about to go 3 wide back there with Andrew Stagey with the Ball State machines there, but I think they cleared themselves out. This is really a gaggle. Ryan Whitlock actually is a driver that I was keeping an eye on. He's up to P10 right now, kind of showing what kind of pace he really has. He's kind of had some unlucky races in the past season, so I'm glad to see him doing well. I'm glad to see him doing up there in the top 10.
And that paint scheme always is something that catches the eye every week. I love that 81 Machines paint scheme. As you can see, he's working on the outside of Brandon Schollenberger here. It seems like a very committed fight here. It seems like they've been side by side ever since the green flag here. As you see, 3 wide, Sky Shrek to the inside. Brian Whitlock on the outside. Brandon Schollenberger gets stuck in the middle. As you can see, Sky Shrek gets washed up a little loose. I believe the 43 is able to save it now.
Almost 4 wide there.
Yeah. Man, oh man, that caused a gaggle.
Our points leader, Andrew Williams, kind of stuck there in the back of that gaggle. Let's see if he can get through this whole disaster of a cluster of cars.
Man, I mean, Nashville's a track. I mean, if you know, there's a little bit of an incident, it just turns up. I mean, really, that's any track. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you have a little incident, pretty much anywhere, I mean, it kind of goggles up the cars behind you unless it's a long green flag run. So, as you can see, I mean, all these cars side by side. It looks like Drew Williams looking to the inside of the Ball State machine of, well, it was a Ben Kelton Quick, I believe, on the outside of him.
Yes.
And now he's on the outside of Ben Fiore. He's just gobbling up these spots right now. I mean, he's up 6 positions, and Ben Fiore, I mean, also up 6 positions. So the two of them making their way through the field together, it seems like.
take a little look back to the people we were talking about earlier. Right now, we got Lucas Moody, got a little battle there with Ryan Whitlock, Brandon Schulenberger, and Matthew Burton from Eastern State, or ETSU. Oh, this is a close battle. They're just stuck nose to tail. Ryan Whitlock in the middle. The Lucas Moody, Brandon Schulenberger sandwich.
Exactly. I was going to say Ryan Whitlock looks like he's ready to try to make a move here to around Lucas Moody, and Brandon Schoenberger's doing the same exact thing. As he's just absolutely pushing Ryan Whitlock down the tri-oval here. You can see the Jake Cummings to the outside of John Hagan, and it looks like John Hagan is able to take that second position, now eyeing up Muhammad Ali for that lead.
Yeah, sorry, I just want I saw that they were getting close, and I was like, oh, that's time to jump there with up to John Hagan. Muhammad Ali still holding on, but yeah, John Hagan, a master racer here, just an artist at his craft with the OU machine. Definitely, he's running down Muhammad Ali for the moment.
And he did say last week he feels he's better at the long green flag runs. So if this thing goes green for a while, that's his forte from the sounds of it. And even, I mean, he said next week at Road Atlanta, he's driven there in real life before. So he's coming up on some favorable grounds. Is his caution currently?
Caution?
Lap 13, well, now 14. Ooh. Looks like a couple cars involved. The 11. 321.
Carter Capini.
Okay. Alex Finnerty involved. We'll have to see what happened here. It was a little further back in the field.
Yeah, let's see if I can get a replay here. And apologies, my mic was muted earlier. Those things do tend to happen whilst I am producing and commentating at the same time. Unfortunately, my bag of tricks does not go as deep as double duties. So I mess up just a bit.
I mean, you're doing way more than the average. I mean, anybody doing this race right now, after driver, average commentator right now, doing a little bit of everything from the scenes of his. Oh, Carter Capini was spun. It looked like going into 3 there. Hard contact going into the wall there. So you can see he's going into down the backstretch here, and it looks like the 73 gets up underneath him and just turns him around. I mean, it looks like potentially Wesley Shaw was just putting his nose in there, and Copini just really moved down to the line that he was trying to run as well. On board. I mean, the contact really happens before even the corner comes up. It's really just the first instance of entering to the corner. They just get together. I think maybe Copini thought Shaw was gonna go on a lower line going into that corner, and that's what initiated everything. We'll have to see what the stewards call that one.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. That's kind of both drivers going for the both spots, right? Same spot. So I don't know. I haven't driven this track in a hot minute. And so I'm not exactly sure where your turning points are here. Yeah,
I mean, I have rarely ever raced this track. I mean, it looked like both of them kind of, I mean, none of them were on a non-normal line. We'll say that. It was pretty typical, but like you said, I think it was just 2 cars going for the same line, which I feel like happens every race, no matter professionally, amateurly, rookies. Like, it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just a nature of the the beast of racing. You both want to occupy the same space because it's the fastest point of the track, or the fastest line. So you want to occupy the same space. Obviously you can't. We still have physics, and so yeah, you kind of end up coming in together, and that's usually what's called a racing incident. Neither driver is at fault, or they're both at equal blame, and so that's kind of what happens. Although we don't know exactly what happened yet. Let me see if I can get. It is deemed a racing incident. So
You called it.
I. Sometimes I have good, good thoughts, good calls. Sometimes, very few.
Well, going into lap 17 here, Al Muhammad Alif has led every lap of this race. A couple others to note. I mean, John Hagan made his way up from 4th to 2nd. Daniel Nanny up to the top 5, starting from 9th position. Some other big movers here. Drew Williams up 8 positions, up into the 14th position. And up 7 positions, Landon Velicky up to 17th. Really through 17 laps, these guys are on a charge up early.
Yeah, let's show the positions gained in the bottom right hand corner. We have Esteban Munoz up 10 positions, like you said, and Connor Bingle up 9, and Andrew Williams up 8. Yeah, 7. And Oscar. Okay, they're flipping back and forth a little bit there.
I mean, side by side. I mean, this is real time positions gained. I mean, it's just how we're gonna have to see when the green flag drops. But yeah, Esteban Munoz currently in the double digits, almost a car a lap, but there's 150 laps, so. That's going to be pretty insane after about 30, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure how well that will work out there.
As the pace lights are off, R. Muhammad Ali for a 3rd time, bringing this field to the green flag. John Hagan on the outside, Jake Cummings and Jared Kaler behind as they are off on the green flag. Barney waving it like he has no tomorrow.
I feel bad for Barney's arm. He must have like a mass. Does he wave with his right arm or left arm? Whatever arm it is, it must be just so muscular. And we have another caution.
Yeah, I believe I was gonna say something. I thought something was in the corner of my eye. It looks like a 3-car, maybe more. I mean, Brandon Schollenberger involved. Looked like someone got a little right rear hooked into the wall. If I had my eyes correct, going into that turn 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, let's see if I can pull up a. I think Kiefer Phillips was involved. Matthew Burton, Brandon Schulenberger, Ryan Whitlock. Oh no! Oh, I think he got away safe.
Might got maybe a ghost, maybe 4x or maybe some contact at some point. We'll have to see. But unfortunate for Brandon Schulenberger and company.
Brandon Schulenberger was running well. That's unfortunate. Matthew Burton as well. Kiefer Phillips, all of these drivers just running so well, and unfortunately, seems like they got into an unfortunate bit of news there.
Oh, woo! That is a right rear. I mean, not intentional, but wow, that was ferocious. The 33 Matthew Burton and Kiefer Phillips lays it in on Matthew Burton after the bell. Brandon Schollenberger, I mean, honestly, probably got the least of it out of those 3 cars as we ride along with Brandon Schollenberger here. You can see the 33 to his left. And, I mean, it's tight racing here. They were 3 wide, and it looks like there was just everyone was trying to stay on top of each other. And fortunately, the 33 car was the victim of right rear hook. Brandon Schollenberger throws him into the outside wall. And I think the 33 car is definitely down for the count.
Let's watch one more time. Just blimp cam. Slow-mo. See if we can. Actually, let's go out a little bit further. So yeah, we have. All right. So yeah, if you're the 33 in this situation, you're kind of just stuck, right? You have Brandon Schollenberger out on your outside, up in your right hand corner, but so you can't go up, or else you're going to happen what exactly happened. You're going to get yourself turned, or you're going to go down and you're going to risk turning Ryan Whitlock in front of you, who then will turn the 13, and you'll probably end up getting caught up in it anyway. So if you're the 33, you're in a really rough situation because you can't really go anywhere. You're in this like really, really awkward, tight 3 wide situation, and then it ends up just getting turned.
Oh, I mean, you described it perfectly, Christian, that he really had nowhere to go, and unfortunately, just tight. That was the result of some tight racing. We'll see. And as that was deemed a racing incident by the stewards, so nobody directly at fault for that one. Just unfortunate for 33. Also, Kiefer Phillips. I mean, he that he rocketed in there, and unfortunately, it looks like his motor might be a little broken at the moment, but back to the front here. I mean, nothing much changed. That was only one turn, so no pit strategy called here. Muhammad Alif, John Hagan, Jake Cummings. Daniel Nanny was able to take the 4th position away from Jared Kaler, and then Charles Wembley and Clint Holterman are there in 6th and 7th place. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot of action here, Christian, at the beginning laps. A lot of tight racing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of tight racing. And I mean, if we continue at this pace, it'll be definitely a change in the championships. Let's pull up the championship tower right now. So John Hagan right then would end up being number 1 with 188 points, then followed by Andrew Williams with 179. Granted, we still have the stage, so the stage points will matter. This does not account for the stage points. This would be the finishing points, but definitely kind of shuffles some things up. Let's see if we can get positions gained instead. So yeah, John Hagan will move up 2 positions. Andrew Williams down 1, Mari Miranda down 1. Jared Kaler, Mr. Consistency, would stay at 4th. And Alif would go up 1. Wow, Jake Cummings would move up 3. So Daniel Nanny up 4 positions in the current running.
I mean, you said it earlier that really once he got through 5th on back, it was a pretty tight race. And I mean, below the 10th position, that cut line for the playoffs, they're right there. I mean, you can't see it right now, but really there's some players at stake right now that are currently outside top 10. Granted, it just second half of the season just started, but you can see a lot of movement going on with the current standings.
This is a wild top 10. If this is where it was our current playoff running, this would be an absolutely wild top 10. Andrew Williams, Jared Kaler, Alif, Jake Cummings, Daniel Nanny, Andrew Stagey, Andy Woodenoffrey, Clint Halterman, Mari Miranda. I mean, these are all just massive, just huge players in the game.
Absolutely agree on that one, Christian. As the pace car goes down pit road, and we are coming to the green here. Muhammad Alif, John Hagan, going into the Geico restart zone, and they are green. And you see Barney waving the heck out of that flag.
So his right arm is just swole. He's just got a huge right arm.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's definitely done that at least a couple million times by now on iRacing services, so.
The most definitely. Maybe even a few million just in CIL.
Yeah, I mean, we're on season 11. As you can see, Jake Cummings and Daniel Nanny in the 3rd position. It looks like they got a little contact, I believe, coming out of that turn, but keeping it respectful for the time being, at least. As you see, Muhammad Alif a little loose. I don't know if John Hagan sent it in there. It looks like, I don't know what happened there, but anyways, running order still the same. Just 3rd and 4th made their way back up. As you can see, Hagan riding on board here, has a run on Muhammad Alif, looking all over the back bumper. So you can see the hand motion to really hold that car steady coming out of turn 4 here. As you can see, he just appeared on the outside. Daniel Nanny, they're 3 wide for 2nd place.
Oh, I'm holding my breath for them. That's not a fun place to be.
I think John Hagan is right now, he is not happy. Got stuck in the middle. It looked like he was loose for the last 2 corners of that, and able to settle in line. Gives a little bump to the 30.
And John Hagan is just dropping like a rock, and we have another caution.
Another caution here. Is a little stack up in the little bumper cars and to the cars coming in the back there. It looked like Brandon Schoenberger and some others collected afterwards, but looks like the 62 of Landon Velicky from Auburn unfortunately involved in that one. Got a nice paint scheme. I do like the skull.
Got a nice paint scheme, but unfortunately,
a little damage.
I don't think that's gonna hang out any longer. Unfortunately, on the wrong driver here. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Oh wow! I jumped to the interesting position.
It looked like there was 2 cars also sideways that were just driving into Velicky.
That's
man. Lots to unfold here. You see Mario Miranda on the inside of Velicky here. See if coming into turn 3 side by side. And then, I mean, oh, he just gets loose.
Ooh.
Oh, he overcorrects right into the wall.
Wow.
Man, oh man, that was vicious. You can see cars
absolutely speeding.
Some more wreck avoidance. Oh,
interesting.
Man.
No free crash. Let's take a quick look at that.
Hope that jump back here. Roger Primo in the 53. 28 of Logan Harpine here on screen. See coming. I mean, they're coming up on the crash now, slowing down.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. So the 0-1 over here got into him, and that just was a pinball effect right in the Veliky. I mean, not that his car was probably suitable anyways. It just got worse, and Alex Finnerty includes some more damage.
Yeah, so that the 0-1 is Alan Hong. We'll have to. We're gonna take a ride on with Alan Hong there with his roll bar. See what happens there. Looks like the other two kind of saw the wreck starting to happen. Alan Hong didn't, and just couldn't get slowed up in time.
Alan Hong from St. Clair just.
Yeah.
Oh.
He didn't see the wreck in time, and the other two slowed down. And unfortunately, it's not. I'm not going to place the blame on Alan Hong there, because I've done the same exact thing. You just get focused on the car in front of you, that all of a sudden there's things happening, they slow down, and you just can't. You just can't slow down in time, unfortunately. You could rip it to the right, rip it to the left. You're either going to spin yourself out, hit someone else, or hit the wall.
And that was definitely, they were stopped out of the corner. So, that's it. Really, when you're racing, you're not going to have, clear vision throughout the entire turn. So when you're in the middle of 3 and 4, you're just starting to see the exit. And sometimes that's even too late, as we saw there. And just unfortunate circumstances. Had some fast race cars damaged there, and hope to see them come out of the pits.
Yeah, it's definitely like to see them come out of the pits. I'm going to take a moment. I haven't actually done any of this because I haven't had time, unfortunately, to do the cautions. Let's take a quick look at our in-car cameras tonight, and I'd like to thank them for jumping on in. These are the guys that really kind of just boost the broadcast's quality and everything, the show's quality. They kind of show you guys their raw emotions, how they're driving, how they're feeling, and all of that. So I'd like to take a shout out to these guys. We've got quite a few of the Ball States, Brandon Schulenberger, we have Jay Cummings, we have Everett Sanchez. We have quite a few of these guys in here, so really like to shout them out and say thank you.
And we'll definitely see some more onboard camera here later in the race. As you can see, the penalty for car 62 EOL and the first strike in that wreck right there. And the pace lights are out, meaning we're going to be coming the green this time by Muhammad Alif, your leader at the moment. Jake Cummings to his outside in the 95 machine. And then behind him, Daniel Nanny from Ball State. John Hagan still in 4th position. Jared Kaler in 5th, eyeing up that 4th position at the moment. And then rounding out your top 6 here, Charles Wembley in the 37 car. As the pace car rolls down pit road, Muhammad Alif leads the field to the Geico restart zone. Slowly but surely. We'll see if there's any bottles up here as they're off and running here in Nashville again. Huge jump for Nanny as well. Taking that 2nd position real quick from Jake Cummings. As you can see, he's already under fire for the 3rd position from John Hagan to his inside.
Yeah, now you've got a 1-2 lockout there with Ball State. Muhammad Ali followed by Daniel Nanny. Two very, very good drivers up there. So I'm curious if they're going to play the team game, or they're just going to say, hey, race it out.
We've seen Oklahoma do it last week. We saw Ball State also do this. They were at the front for a little bit there. Alif and Nanny came out with a great result from that race. So we're going to see if who in 3rd position here, Jake Cummings or John Hagan, can fire up to the lead. But As you see, that's a little gaggle of cars, Lucas Moody in the front of it. And it looks like Oscar Enriquez, Ryan Whitlock, some of the few, as Drew Williams tries to break into the top 10 along with Sky Shrek. So you can see Mario Miranda further back, making it 3 wide on Jason Wallet. Jason Wallet in the middle there. I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect to see this much 3 wide action here at Nashville. Yet again, I have not raced here recently, so I guess I need to race this more.
Yeah, it's definitely a track that I was not expecting a whole lot of 3 wide action, and from the sounds of it and the looks of it, it's not a place you want to be 3 wide. It looks like the person in the Jay Cummings smacks the ball, and Charles Wembley really takes advantage of that.
Jared Kaler as well. He's looking to the inside. Jake Cummings and Charles Wembley. You can see it, really UNC Charlotte looking to the inside here, trying to make up to the top 5. Jared Kaler side by side, trying to get that side draft. A little touch down the backstretch as well.
Go for it.
I was going to say one thing to note, Christian. I mean, these cars are built like brick houses, but also, I mean, they hit the wall at a wrong angle, and that toe link can get a little crazy on them. You know, it takes a while to fix that up. Jake Cummings definitely didn't hit the wall hard enough for that to happen, but I mean, if he hits it a couple more times like that, I mean, he could have to go down pit road for repairs. But I mean, we'll have to see here.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. I mean, yeah, that was a pretty nasty hit. I don't think there's too much damage on him. Let's see if we can get a side angle on him. It's gonna be difficult, but yeah, I think he'll be fine. He might have just a hair of aero damage, but nothing too drastic. As yeah, it doesn't look like, just probably some paint scraping. You know, rub that chrome paint off on the 95 just a little bit on that Converse machine.
I mean, the Converse machine's still looking slick as ever. We have some 3 wide action back here. We got a little crunch here as Mario Miranda is able to slide on by Drew Williams, Ryan Whitlock, and Lucas Moody here to get into the 9th position. What 3 cars in 1 turn. Holy moly, he's making his way up to the front in a hurry. As you see, Drew Williams is also trying to make his way up to the front. Lucas Moody sends it in there. And, I mean, Drew Williams is able to just bring that power out of the corner. And, I mean, they're still side by side as Lucas Moody does have the momentum.
They were almost 4 wide there for a second as we jumped in onto them, and that's kind of what caught my eye originally. Definitely would not want to go 4 wide. That would be just a death sentence. But yeah, definitely good. Andrew Williams, as we said earlier, he's on a different rig tonight. He's actually on Nick Stockner's rig tonight because he does not have any internet at his house. Unfortunately, he was affected. One of the individuals affected by the hurricane. So definitely impressive in my opinion. I don't know how often you've jumped around on rigs, but jumping between rigs is not something that's easily done. You know, pedals are completely different, you know, wheels different. You're not in your own environment. Everything's just different, and you don't feel quite right. It doesn't have that same feeling. So it's definitely impressive for him being and fighting for that 10th position.
It's some simple things like buttons on the wheel that are different. I mean, it can throw you off completely. You know, if you need to make a call, you know, you need to make a call out to a teammate, any car around you that you're pitting. You know, anything that small can be a real big difference, even if it's not directly with the driving of the car. So you can see some more action back here. Jason Wallet, Ricky Paz battling for that 14th position. You can see Ricky Paz sends it on to the inside of Jason Wallet. Wallet on the outside, able to try and use that momentum. As you see, Ricky Paz gets a little loose coming out of that corner, but is able to keep up the momentum enough to, you know, not go completely out of this battle, as he's still on the inside of Jason Wallet.
Interesting fact. I kind of just wanted to share this, just more or less to show you how much that it does affect you. For instance, I just changed wheels. I just upgraded my wheelbase, and so I also got a new wheel. And so my wheel pattern changed, you know, my button pattern changed. So I have buttons in different places now. And where I'm used to normally my push to talk button is now my pit button. And so I was in the middle of a race, it was probably like lap 2 or lap 3. I was near a bunch of other cars and I was leading, and I went to go talk to the other guys in the racetrack, and I accidentally hit my pit limiter. and my rear wheels lock up and I go spinning, and I was like, are you kidding? And luckily I saved it, but it can really affect you.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, especially when it goes that bad, that fast.
Yeah. Don't hit your pit limiter by accident. It's not a good thing.
Man, oh man. And I guess while we were away here talking about some changes going on, it looks like the top 3 has changed as Daniel Nanny, John Hagan, Charles Wimbley make up your top 3. Al Muhammad Alif now in 4th position, along with Jake Cummings rounding out your top 5. So you can see Mario Miranda is trying to make that outside work on Clint Halterman, trying to make his way back up to the front. I mean, Mario, it seems like no matter where Mario starts, he always seems to find a way. Currently up 21 positions from his starting 28th position. So, he, again, man on a mission, along with Oscar Enriquez in 9th position there, started 19th. So, I mean, it's only early in the race, but these cars are looking towards that stage break as Jared Kaler gets into the wall there, it looked like.
Yeah, definitely giving that wall a kiss. Making friends real quick. Not trying to bully it or anything. Jared Kaler definitely fighting for that 5th place position. That top 5 comes with 5 championship points for the stage break. For anyone curious, the championship are the stage points. For championship points, they are awarded. First place gets 10, all the way down. P2 gets 9, P8 gets 3, all the way down to P10 gets 1 point.
And even though those might not be that important right now, once you get to that final race, you realize, sometimes when you're running, as Jared Kaler is now, maybe in 5th, this 5th position could potentially, lock yourself into the playoffs or not if you points your way in. And then also, if you win the stage, you get that bonus point in the playoffs, I believe. So, that even helps you a lot more going through the first round and the finale.
I mean, hey, look at the points right now. I think we had 3 drivers separated by 1 point. So those points they always matter. It's we saw that in 2021 with Formula One. If we have any Formula One fans out there, going into the last race, they were tied in points. So that 1 point that can really make or break your championship results.
I mean, that was a race to watch as well. Unrelated to the race going on right now, but yes, that 2021 race. I mean, I just got into F1, and that was the race I watched. And man, oh man, that was a race.
My. That is certainly a race to watch as your first one. Definitely a rough one. Ooh, as they get really close there. Jake Cummings finally getting around Jared Kaler. Or sorry, Clinton Halterman, Jared Kaler is still in front.
As you can see, a wreck. It looks like caution's out. Wreck behind in the tri-oval. Multiple cars involved. Some as Edwin Onofre, Garrett Baton. Man, oh man, it looks like some bent up hoods there. There's the rushers.
Where's Garrett Baton? Or Garrett Baton? Sorry, Edwin Onofre. He's made it out pretty clean. Let's see if we can go and take a quick look.
Oh. Well, the front of that thing might be a little dented in, but
you might have a nosebleed.
Just walk it off. You're good.
I broke a finger playing football in high school, and I was told to walk it off. I was like, I don't know how I do that. All right, let's take a look at this wreck that happened.
It's like Esteban Munoz gets a little loose on the outside there, and it's just a chain reaction. Garrett Baton, I mean, not... Oh, the 121 gets major damage there. I believe probably the 121 was doing some wreck avoidance, and it just ended up bad. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we're going to take on board with 121.
And folks, like we said earlier, we could just see how fast these wrecks play out and what your reaction time has to be to avoid it. So you can see the 121 here. I mean, has smoke below, and you can't really see 9 Esteban Munoz until it's right there, and that's just he is just torpedoing straight into Edwin Onofre.
Yeah, he got caught up. He didn't see. There was so much smoke that he couldn't see the. I think it was Edwin, or no, who was down below?
Munoz, I believe.
Yeah, Munoz. He just couldn't see Munoz, unfortunately. So kind of got caught up in that, unfortunately, for Andrew Earl. Yep.
Alrighty, well, we have a moment. We would like to give a shout out to our sponsors today. First up, the Garage Shop. The Garage Shop is a race car fabrication company that builds some of the fastest and most unique cars, trucks, and off-road vehicles. Their mission is simple: honor the racers who came before us and put our competitors behind us. Visit thegarageshop200.com today for more information. The Makoni Setup Shop. The ECAC esports exists to add greater value to its members' schools by enhancing the competitive experience for hundreds of students seeking to participate in intercollegiate esports. The Makoni Setup Shop, the home of setup, paint schemes, coaching, and more. The official setup shop of eNASCAR. Setup subscriptions available as low as $8 a month today. Visit MakoniSetupShop.com to subscribe today. And finally, Whiplash SimCams, an iRacing and esports media group specializing in racing and team graphics, iRacing camera packs, and other broadcasting resources.
Definitely want to give a shout out to them. Yeah, thank you. Without them, none of this would be possible. We wouldn't have the broadcast. We wouldn't be probably having the league. So these guys really make it kind of what it's all about, and they really help us out. So definitely want to give a shout out there to the Garage Shop, ECAC, Makoni Setup Shop, and Whiplash Sim Cams. And for unfortunately, we didn't have a race sponsor for all the race sponsors throughout the season, throughout the league, throughout all the series. We definitely want to give you guys a shout out and a thank you very much for supporting the CIL.
The coverage of this race is getting even better, and as we've seen, I mean, a lot of this side-by-side action we were able to catch, and a lot of these graphics wouldn't be possible. So I want to thank everyone who has helped out the CIL by either driving, sponsoring, or commentating. I mean, everyone that's involved, thank you. And even the viewers, you are our most important people around. And thank you all for watching as we're coming to lap 52 here, coming up to that stage break, Christian. So really, people trying to figure out what's the pit strategy, where do I want to put myself to get some stage points, or even do I want to sacrifice the stage points for a better strategy and a better overall position.
Right, I'm going to throw up the timing tower really quick just because we did have a lot of pits go on. So I'm kind of going to see what happened there. We have Carter Capini, who's running a P1 at the moment, followed by Ricky Paz. So definitely kind of a switch up there. Art Muhammad Alif all the way back down in 10th with Jay Cummings 11th, Martin Miranda 12th. You just see everyone kind of get shifted down. For those who decided to pit, Daniel Nanny, Clint Halterman, Jared Kaler, they all decided to stay out, as well as Ricky Paz, Connor Martin, Carter Capini. So there's quite a bit of there. Connor Martin is up currently 41 positions.
I was about to say that, which is pretty insane, considering if Connor has a great turn one here, he will quite literally pass everyone in this field tonight. So lights are off on the pace car. Down pit road it goes. Your front row, Carter Capini, Connor Martin, Ricky Paz in third place. So you can see Carter Capini leading the inside line to the restart zone as they get a little bunched up going into the restart zone, and away they go. Then there's already a wreck. The 89 of Mario Miranda, it looks like. Oh no.
Oh boy.
That is definitely going to affect the playoff situation. Now, granted, Mario is locked in to the playoffs. Overall points and student championship implications here, along with Oklahoma's current race win streak, is at stake. I mean, he was making his way up through the field too, so I mean, I think that restart had a lot of gaggles, a lot of bunching up, and a lot of bumper cars, some dented fenders. I mean, we'll have to see what happened here.
Oops. That's not the right scene. Sorry about that.
Ooh.
Let's take another look at that.
You can see it looks like 5th or 6th in line here behind Muhammad Alif. That outside line just keeps getting boggled up and just couldn't take off at the right time, it seemed like. I mean, just really ultimately what happened was just bumper cars, and then Ryan, that wasn't Ryan Whitlock, that was Connor Bingle, I believe, that drove into the back end of Mario Miranda as well.
Let's see. So yeah, it starts with the number 4 of Connor Martin, just kind of gets a slow restart, then bumps into the 58, then the 30, then the 37, then Muhammad Alif, then Mario Miranda, and fortunately, fortunately, Andrew Williams makes it out, but Mario Miranda gets spun, but then gets tagged there by 68 of Connor Bingle. And that might be the end there of this race. I can't tell if any of that wheel damage.
Definitely not what Mario wanted to see at the halfway point of this race. Well, not halfway, but with 100 laps to go in this race. Apologies.
Ooh.
He was looking for some vital stage points, and it looks like there's several cars here repairing some damages to their front ends.
Yeah, you got a bit of a car graveyard right here. Then Velke, I don't even think has an engine anymore. And Andrew Burrell is got quite a bit of damage there. It was actually, you can see their cars moving, so they are getting repairs. Just I don't know how long that'll take.
And one thing to note, there are no fast repairs in the CIL Oval Series, so those cars, once they take a hard hit, they have to stay in pit lane to repair it if it's bad enough. So, as you can see, the top 3 here, Carter Capini, Ricky Paz, and Clint Holterman, your 3rd place right now. Going back through the field a little bit here, John Hagan, Ryan Whitlock round out your top 5. Connor Martin holds on to 6th place here. 95 of Jake Cummings, Jared Kaler, and Daniel Nanny, along with Oscar Enriquez in 10th position. So, got a lot of different names up here. Some that have not been up front all day, and some who have been, pretty much the center of our attention. So it'll be very action-packed here. And quick fun fact about Carter Capini here, he grew up racing dirt tracks until he got to college. So he is a big dirt track racer and has made his way to the CIL to Nashville for some concrete racing. So a little bit out of the realm of dirt racing, but definitely showing he is currently sitting up front. Due to strategy, he is going to try and keep that lead, along with Ricky Paz.
I have a dirt track right near my house, and I feel guilty for have never been down, or have never visited. I feel like it's just sacrilege isn't the word, but I definitely should have visited my local dirt track by now. I think it's just probably just an incredible. I know quite a bunch of people who drive there and whatnot. I just haven't gone, and I feel like I've disgraced the racing community.
I think everyone should be able to go to a dirt race track at some point in their life. It's a different experience than anything you'll see as Carter Capini takes off into the Geico restart zone and leads lap 58. So you can see they're fanning out further back in the field to try and avoid any kind of bobble up here. Looking at Oscar Enriquez on the outside of the 88 car of Andrew Stagey. He was current. Now they're 3 wide. Jared Kaler ultimately stuck behind the 4. It looks like going into that turn, Jared Kaler's able to now make it to the inside of the 4 and make that pass. You see the 4 gets a little bunched up back there. So you can see, oh, a huge wreck. Oh, my Lord. Oh, that is a lot of cars. Oh, my gosh.
We got Lucas Moody down there. He was having some unfortunate action there, and yeah, there was just so many cars that were involved in that wreck. I don't even know what to look at, who to grab, who to say, who to comment on.
I'm at a loss for words. Before we even, got to the wreck, it seemed like quite literally everyone ahead of it was sideways in the tri-oval there. But it looks like some lucky few made it out. John Hagan, Ryan Whitlock, Drew Williams, Jordan Byers, and Jared Kaler currently make up your top 5. Sky Shrek and Edward Sanchez, along with Dylan Godinez, has made their way up into the top 10. But we'll have to see what caused this pile up here in the tri-oval.
The list of cars that have gotten an incident or an off track on my list after that caution is wild. I mean, the list of just Brandon Schulenberger, Oscar Enriquez, Lee Kane, Jared Kaler, Lucas Moody, Jordan Byers, Sky Shrek, Garrett Vitton, Carter Capini, Kelton Quick, Nathan Crone, Benjamin Neller, Logan Harpine, Devin Defoe, Wesley Shaw. It just keeps going. Andrew Stagey. The list of drivers that were involved is just wild.
That is at least a quarter of the field, from the sounds of it, was involved in that wreck in one way or another.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Not even sure who to focus on.
Yeah, as I say, I think we should just let the wreck happen for itself here at first.
Oh my gosh.
I think
it actually started with the Ricky Paz.
Yeah, I think Ricky Paz had the 4 gets a little airborne there. Man, oh man. 30 of Daniel Nanny after an impressive week last week. Always shows speed. Looks like he's got a bit of damage. But I agree. I think Ricky Paz, it looks like he was the start of the wreck here. Oh, got a little help actually from the 95 of Jake Cummings, which Ricky Paz is able to save it for a moment, and then just a chain reaction there again. So you see Drew Williams, Ryan Whitlock able to get down to the apron and save themselves, but for the rest of these guys here, just some brutal hits here. Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he tags Nanny. And then this is kind of just where, the chaos just starts happening because cars are just piling in. The 58 hits the 88, who then hits the 13 and the 43. 37 gets tagged. 88's going towards the wall. 11 goes into a Leaf.
Man, that was
77 rounds. Oh, you said
the
4 also gets air. Oh, the 4 just smacks the crap out of the 30. See the 2 smack into the back of Paz.
Wesley Shaw hits Daniel Nanny there as well. I mean, any car that came out unscathed, they definitely had a good perspective, but I think unless you were John Hagan, I think you had a good visual of that one. But one thing to note here, everybody, the stage break is on lap 70, so a lot of these cars currently sitting in the top 10 that could use some well-needed points. Ryan Whitlock, Jordan Byers, Edward Sanchez, Sky Shrek, Dylan Godinez, Ben Fior, Kelton Quick, and Bryce Kobler all in the top 10. And, currently could score some very good stage points here, help them in the second half of this season, propel themselves into one of the front runners here and try and get into the playoffs. So you see Jared Kaler, Andrew Stagey, some of the unfortunates of that wreck.
All the drivers currently in pit road: Ricky Paz, Jared Kaler, Andrew Stagey, Logan Harpine, Nathan Crone, Connor Martin, Mario Miranda, Connor Bingle, Andrew Burrell, Landon Veliky and Matthew Burton. Not all, actually, I think Veliky and Burton were previous incidents, but yeah, they all the drivers who are currently on pit road. Jake Cummings actually is on pit road. Yeah, he got smacked.
Cool. Some very fast cars caught up in this one. Man, oh man.
As we look back to the front,
it's either set up to restart here. The pace car lights are out. So John Hagan, Ryan Whitlock make up your front row. Jordan Byers, Drew Williams, and Sky Shrek round out your top 5. Edward Sanchez and Dylan Godinez coming in at 6th and 7th, as you see John Hagan leading the pack to the Geico restart zone. And the green flag drops as you see John Hagan gets a huge run coming out of the restart zone. Drew Williams is going to try and follow him up. See Sky Shrek make a move to the inside, taking that 4th position from Jordan Byers from Penn State Barron. As you see the 26 of the Baruch machine trying to make his way on the inside, get to that 5th position. Again, once we get to lap 65, a next caution ends it if one comes out. If not, the race goes to lap 70. Edward Sanchez still on the inside of Jordan Byers, while Ben Fiore tries to make his way through the both of them. It looks like there was a little stack up. Did you see that, Christian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it. Yeah, there was a bit of a stack up. Everyone came out clean. I believe Lucas Moody was involved in it a little bit. I think he got a little sideways, but he was able to save it.
I was gonna say I was going insane, but thankfully you saw it too. You can see the top 2 have checked out from the rest of the field here. It looks like John Hagan and Andrew Williams are gonna try to. Drew's gonna try to make his way back up to the front here, but I think John Hagan's got this one on wraps unless he's got, he slows down here on purpose. So Sky Shrek and Ryan Whitlock are still battling for that 3rd position. Again, some very crucial stage points at stake here, as Edward Sanchez goes on the outside trying to take that 4th position away from Sky Shrek.
Oops.
Right along here with the 26 machine of Edward Sanchez. As you can see, he's cool, calm, and collected as he's coming up on Ryan Whitlock here, going to the inside, trying to take that 3rd position away. Focused, as you can see, focused as ever coming out of turn 2 here. He's able to make that move and now finds himself on the podium for the moment until the stage break here, as there's just mayhem behind. So this is the battle for 6th position. You can see the battle 6th through 10th. Each position worth 1 additional point. You can see Ben Neller is also in 11th, so potentially trying to make his way into the stage point situation. So you can see there's 3 wide back there for 10th place, but it looks like John Hagan's going to cross the line for lap 70, followed by Drew Williams, Edward Sanchez. As the stage caution comes out, John Hagan able to make a huge gap between him and Drew Williams. And then following Drew Williams, these are who will receive stage points. Drew Williams, Edward Sanchez, Sky Shrek in 4th position, Ryan Whitlock in 5th, Bryce Kobler in 6th, Benjamin Fiore, Garrett Vitton in 8th position, Brandon Schollenberger in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is Jordan Byers from Penn State Barron.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, the stage break gives each driver 1 point per position. So if they are in 1st place, they get 10 points. 2nd place gets 9. 3rd place gets 8. 4th place gets 7. 5th place gets 6. 6th place gets 5. 7th place gets 4, 8th place gets 3, 9th place gets 2, 10th place gets 1. Wow, I'm shocked I was able to do that like that.
Again, a man with many talents, including some counting in opposite directions.
It's like saying the alphabet backwards. I cannot do that, by the way.
I can't at all. I'd have to think about it. Whoa, the 27 makes a last-minute decision to not go down pit road.
I hope that doesn't give him a black flag. That was really, he was cutting it close there. That might have
Yeah,
been an unsafe pit entry.
We'll have to see. I mean,
But
the
that
steward.
is, I think Andrew Williams down first.
Mhm. This will definitely shake up the field here.
Andrew Williams is going to be, is he going to be the first one off of pit road? He is. Andrew Williams, first one off of pit road.
See a car in the infield.
That's about all I can get.
A couple things to note here. Some others who stayed out during that caution. John Hagan obviously was first. Now Edward Sanchez second, Garrett Baton third, Brandon Schollenberger in the 7 machine in fourth, and Lucas Moody is rounding out your top 5. So a lot of strategy call here, Christian, and I mean we're coming up on the halfway point, and I mean that everyone's ready to look for the finale here. And can we quickly? I just wanted to see the largest movers of the race, because really some of these big wrecks have caused a lot of commotion here in the standings. You can see Garrett in third place. Garrett Fitton up 27 positions, starting 30th. A couple others. I mean, Dylan Godinez up 32 positions to the 7th position. Keeper Phillips up from 41st to 8th. I mean, dare to say that the qualifying positions really didn't mean much at this moment.
Right, and honestly, I mean, in terms of the pit stops as well, John Hagan in 59th, I believe, or pitted 50th. Sorry, not in 59th. Wow, we don't even have 59 drivers. John Hagan pitted lap 50. We are now lap 72. That is a 22 lap difference there. 20 lap difference. Would you have pit with a 20 lap differential? I mean, you're going to be running, you have to pit one more time. I mean, we're probably going to have another caution, but you're going to have to pit again. Would you have pit for this? Or would you have flipped the stage?
In my opinion, I probably would have pit under this caution. As you did say, there probably will be another caution, but nothing is, nothing is the word I'm trying to think of for sure. Nobody, you're not going to know that it's going to absolutely happen. So I think I would have taken the, free pit stop, pretty much try to get new tires, reset. And if this goes green, that 22 lap tire differential could definitely hurt John Hagan. But again, if a caution does come out, the strategy changes altogether. So what do I know?
No.
At that point, you throw it out the window at that point. So this is we'll see if they can make this happen. But what's your thoughts, Christian?
I think I would have pit. I'm not a good person at strategy, to be honest. I'm terrible at strategy. I drive a lot of IMSA, and you have to have strategy in that, but I am just terrible at strategy. I never know what to do. I never know enough information. But if I knew a lot of people were gonna pit, I probably would have pit. I'm one to kind of just I don't know enough to be able to go out and kind of pick my own decision in terms of that. So I would have gone with the group. I think that's the safest option, especially if you're John Hagan, who just has that kind of pace. I really don't think if you're John Hagan, you needed that extra little bit of position,
especially being in first. But now you can see John Hagan, Edward Sanchez coming to the Geico restart zone, and we're off for the second half of the Nashville Super Speedway.
It's actually in Lebanon.
Lebanon, sorry, yeah. Back to racing in Lebanon.
Yes. Actually, we're going to jump on board right here with Brandon Schulenberger. One of our long-term drivers here. He's been around for quite a bit, quite a while, and definitely a driver that you want to watch. I mean, he's got some good pace, some good speed, consistent finishes, and also a brand new, not brand new, but definitely a new paint scheme there from the Wingate machine, and it's looking mighty fine.
Definitely agree with that one. I mean, Brandon is always someone's fast. I mean, he's been around since I was racing last, and I remember he was pretty hard to pass, I'll say that. He's very good at his craft. As you can see, that Wingate machine is trying to eye up the top 3 here. But again, these cars are all on older tires. As you can see, the first car, Andrew Williams, on a new set of tires. Well, actually, Bryce Kobler is the first car now on a new set of tires, trying to make his way up through the field. In the 5 machine here, trying to make his way around Dylan Godinez. And right now, I mean, it's only been 3 laps, Christian, but I mean, 20-lap differential usually does a lot more in terms of pace. But I mean, these top 6 are able, well, top 7, sorry, are able to keep their own. It seems like as they're 3 wide. For the Sky Shrek in the Oklahoma machine sends it on the inside and is able to pass both Drew Williams and Ben Fior in the 25.
Sky Shrek's quite a bit of a missile tonight. You know, our FC, one of our FC commentators tonight is definitely she has showed up tonight, and she has put down some mighty fine laps and is still putting them down. Just broke into the top 10, now P9, and is working on gaining those positions.
She is definitely eyeing up that front of these new tires. As you see Drew Williams peeking to the outside, Sky Shrek keeping that inside line to defend. But as you see, the 5 of Bryce Kobler is able to make it around Dylan Godinez. Sky Shrek has to file behind the Drew Williams.
Yeah, Andrew Williams kind of just cut up and then ended up just costing Sky just quite a bit of time, so she wasn't able to kind of keep that pace there. And I was shocked it kind of worked out like that. I thought Sky was gonna end up pinning Andrew in behind Godinez, but I guess unfortunately for either driver, however you look at it, it didn't work out like that. Still in the top 10 though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely all these drivers in a good points position. So you see the 5 gets a little out of the groove there and is under fire from the 808 of Dylan Godinez now. You see Drew Williams takes his spot back as the front of this new tire squad in that Clemson orange-wheeled racing machine.
The 5 and the 808 actually just banged doors going into that corner. That was more than a bang. That was more of a smack. But they both ended up coming out of that fine. Sky's gonna make a pass on Dylan. He's gonna try to make a pass on it. And not yet. Let's take a look up towards the front, top 5 with Edwin and Onofre.
Do you see 3 cars in the 7? Brandon Schulenberger, Edward Sanchez, and Edwin Onofre in a train. It seems like Ricky Paz a little laps down, currently not battling for position, but as you see, the 7 is closing up on the back of the 19 machine, and Edwin Onofre is trying to find a way around Edward Sanchez right now. A little further back, the 5 of Bryce Kobler trying to get around Lucas Moody. As you see Sky Shrek and also and Dylan Godinez holding his own on those older tires. Charles Wembley trying to get to the inside there. I mean, well, now you see the 5 of Bryce Kobler looking to the inside of Lucas Moody. diving it in there in the turn one and able to make the move, slide up right in front of Moody. It's really filed out here as the laps keep ticking here, as you see an onboard with Lucas Moody, and you can see through the back of that 13 machine, a lot of cars waiting to take his position if he messes up. So he is dialed in right now. As you can see, his eyes are pinned to that screen.
Whoa!
Huge send. It's gonna work out. Wow.
I was gonna say
banging doors.
He's racing on a Formula rim. Oof. I'm sorry for his wrists. I've done that. I did that for quite a while. I'll probably be doing that now. Since upgrading, I only have a Formula rim, and I've kind of been staying away from oval just for the fact that I'd like my wrists to be intact.
Going back to Nicholas Patinella, he's in the Formula Series, but he also has one. He showed me where we were on, I think it was Daytona, and literally let go of the wheel, and I think that thing could have went Mach 5. I don't know, like, I don't know if my hands could even handle holding one of those type of steering wheels. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, and after a while, it just starts to get painful. So we had it 3 wide. Are we having 3 wide again? Ooh, yes, we are. We got Ricky Paz up top. And then we got the it changed camera angles. We had Benjamin Neller in the 79 and Jason Wallet in the 76. Logan Smith in the 34.
See, the 4 car there is a little slow, causing that 3 wide action behind there. Ryan Whitlock able to make it through. Coming up to lap 90 here, 60 laps to go in the race here at Nashville Super Speedway. And a couple things to note here. John Hagan has been able to pull out to a 1-second lead over Garrett Vitten, and Brandon Schoenberger is another 7/10 behind. But looking back here more into the field, Oscar Enriquez is under fire from the 79 of Ben Neller. As you see, Neller washes up a little bit, giving a perfect opportunity for the Ryan Whitlock to look to the inside.
Ryan Whitlock still holding in there. Has had quite a few. Has had a couple of incidents here and there, but has definitely still held his own. And yeah, is fighting there with Benjamin Neller or P15. Definitely trying in that. Whoa! As he gets loose. Ooh. In that UAH machine with that beautiful paint scheme, as always. I do miss the rocket.
I'm trying to remember the rocket.
That was on his that was several seasons back on his I believe that was his Lamborghini. Had a rocket on the back with the moon and everything. I believe that was him. I'm about 80% sure.
Looking back in the field here, Sky Shrek, Charles Wembley battling for 8th position at the moment. As you can see, Sky Shrek's trying to make her way back around Wembley here. I mean, the older tires will do you no good, but I mean, these cars are both on newer tires. So, I mean, this is turning into a long green flag run. But despite that, those cars that stayed on older tires, I mean, the top 3 are still in that group. And Drew Williams has made his way up to 4th and is looking to pass Brandon Schoenberger at the moment. But I believe that right now, John Hagan has pulled himself out to a comfortable lead. You can see Drew Williams is able to make that pass as Edward Sanchez looks to the inside of Bryce Kobler for that 5th position. But you can see a little bit of action back here. Sky Shrek gets right up on the bumper of Wembley. It looks like further back, it looks like a little 3-wide action here, late into the going. It looks like multiple cars involved, but the main ones are Oscar Enriquez, and it looks like there's a little bit of squeeze going on down low there, but man, oh man, this is tight racing. It's still not even 50 laps to go in the race.
Yeah. We got a 2 wide, we got a 3 wide. Got 50 laps to go. Whew. These guys are really pushing hard to maybe get up front. They're still 3 wide. Now they just break out.
Finally able to decide that matter, as you see Ben Fior is able to be victorious and lead that little group there, trying to chase down some others in front, such as Dylan Godinez, Sky Shrek. See Ben Fior's eyeing up Dylan Godinez here. Dylan Godinez still on that older tire, but able to hold his own around this track right now. You can see it's pretty much just single file throughout the field, no matter what. Everyone's trying to, make this run last, and we might see this go to the end. As you see, P5 of Bryce Kobler, I believe, looked to the inside of Andrew Williams, but Drew Williams is able to hold him off and clear him going into turn 1.
Edward Sanchez right on the bumper there of the 7 of Brandon Schulenberger. I think honestly, if I was in the top 5, maybe even the top 10, I think I would just be trying to save some fuel right now. I mean, we still have 50 laps to go. We just hit the lap 100. Yeah, I'd be trying to save some fuel right now, just trying to make this last. Maybe even save some tires and see how far I can go on this current set.
I agree, and the one thing to note is we are inside of the pit window here. So if if some people were bold and tried to undercut some of their fellow racers here, they could try and make up some easy positions here and strategy their way into a good position. But I don't think there's anyone right now trying to make that move, because again, if that is a very high risk, high reward situation, because if a caution comes out, especially at this short of a track, they'll end up a lap down, and at that point you kind of feel like you're stuck in purgatory.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be a difficult one. But whilst we have just under 50 laps to go, we're going to take a quick commercial break here from Nashville whilst we let these guys lap around the track. Again, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more coverage of the CIL Nashville Super Speedway College Cup Series, Garage Shop College Cup Series race. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from... Racing isn't easy. But
when you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Hello, my name's Aaron Brown from the Garage Shop in Denver, North Carolina. We're here at the famous Bonneville Speedway in Wendover, Utah. One of the most harshest environments on the planet to race in, and that's why we need the best tools Snap-on has to offer. What we use here to pump up the oil in our race engines to prime them is this Snap-on screw gun. With its variable speed and high torque, this allows us to spin our oil pumps up to 1,500 RPMs, creating 70 pounds of oil pressure, which helps us get everything settled in, nice and happy, and turn the hot oil through the engine. It's compact, lightweight, and able to fit in really tight spaces. Its 9-position clutch allows us to torque things, nuts, bolts, from 8-inch to 50-inch pounds. Small size and high performance helps us get into many places on a race car where normal tools can't. Under the dash and the engine compartment, we also use this to drill a lot of holes in very tight spots.
Welcome back, everybody, to It's Actually in Lebanon 200 at Nashville Superspeedway here with the Collegiate iRacing League. We're closing in on 40 laps to go here, and everyone has still been fast and furious. Some things to note while we were on commercial break here. Bryce Kobler and Drew Williams settled it out, and Bryce Kobler is now 3rd position. As you see, Brandon Schollenberger is on the inside of Edwin Onofre right now for the 5th position. Edward Sanchez just in front. As you see, Edwin Onofre is able to pull down the backstretch and make that pass into the 5th position. A lot of action here in this little group of 5. As you see, Charles Wembley and Sky Schreck are also involved, but you see Brandon Schollenberger is going into pit road. Some early pit stops here for the 7 machine from Wingate.
Got a little
Oh,
loose
the
on...
yellow flag just came out.
Oh, is that lucky?
Man, oh man, that actually might be very lucky for the 7 machine. See, Drew Williams was also on pit road when that caution came out. We'll have to sort this out and see who were the lucky ones and who weren't.
Yeah, I'm trying to look around and see who was involved in that. I think Dylan Godinez was.
First things first, we'll see who was involved in the wreck. Looking at the replay here, the Ben Fior, Dylan Godinez here battling for position. Really, these 5 cars all battling for position, going through the trial. Ryan Whitlock able to get to the outside of Ben Fior right behind, but it looks like a little close there coming out of the corner. Ryan Whitlock has a run going down the backstretch.
Is this the...
Oh, maybe a little miscommunication between the 808 and the 25. Ben Fior gets thrown. Oh, a little more contact. And a little. Oh, Jared Kaler's involved in that one. Man, oh man, that was a big mess. You see, a lot of cars are actually involved in that one. Potentially, nobody. I mean, the 808 potentially didn't say he was pitting, or Ben Fiore didn't realize. We'll have to see what is the verdict on that one, because that was just, miscommunication between those two drivers. See the 808 from Penn College of Technology. Trying to see who were the ultimate winners from that late caution. Obviously, the cars involved Jared Kaler, Jason Wallet, Dylan Godinez, Ben Fiore. These guys definitely were on the wrong side of that wreck, but some others who came down pit road just at the right time. Drew Williams. It looked like we had some others. I think Ryan Whitlock might have been in there as well.
Yeah, it was interesting, and that's something we try to strive to keep the chat clear. That's been something a bit big, and so we try to keep the chat clear, just so in case those instances, someone can talk. They can say, hey, I'm pitting, this lap, I'm the car number X, or whatever, and so they can talk. And unfortunately, not all drivers call out. They think they can, just because it's off the line or whatnot. Maybe he just got slow. Maybe, I don't know. There's a whole host of reasons why that could have happened, unfortunately. Yeah, it does seem like a bit of a miscommunication on the 808's part.
Well, this introduces some very interesting ideas at the moment. John Hagen, Garrett Vitton, Edward Sanchez still up front from that, from the restart, really. They never went away from that top 3 area. Bryce Kobler, Charles Wembley. We saw Drew Williams, who was up there. He was pitting, so a little, Drew Williams has now fallen back into the 20th position. Actually, he is a lap down if my timing table is correct, so he might actually not be a winner from what I said earlier. So, the pace car, the lights are out on the pace car. Your top 3, like we said before, John Hagen, Garrett Vitton, Edward Sanchez going back through there, Bryce Kobler, Charles Wembley, Sky Schreck, Edwin Onofre, Ryan Whitlock, Oscar Enriquez, Logan Smith, Kelton Quick, and Jordan Byers. That is your top 12. Even though we saw Jason Wallet a little bit in that wreck, he is in 13th position, looking to rebound here. But we are hitting the home stretch here in Lebanon as John Hagen takes the field down the front stretch here. Garrett Vitton to his outside, going into the restart zone here, and then a great jump by Hagen.
Hagen still in P1 after he stayed out in that caution, and although hey, Hagen's the one in P1, not me. We kind of commented on him staying out and how we would have gone into the pits, but it's we're in lap 116 out of 150. We have 35 laps to go, and he's still in P1. So I think he made the right call.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's obviously in command right now. Edward Sanchez is now the man in charge of trying to track him down half a second back. So you see Charles Wembley to the inside of Garrett Vitton here. Going down the backstretch. Vitton has that momentum from turn 2, but it looks like Charles Wembley's going to send it on the inside. They're nose to nose. They can't really get away from each other, it seems like, in this lap. As the caution comes back out.
Oops.
We'll have to see what that was 4, but I think currently the first man a lap down here is Drew Williams. So the 0-1 of Alan Hong involved in this one. We'll have to see what happened to the St. Clair College machine. See, Esteban Munoz is on the inside of Alan Hong here. And the incident actually is in front of him as there's multiple cars. It looks like UNC Charlotte collects each other.
Hold on. We'll go and take a look at that. Look at that again, kind of in a bit of a slow motion there, because actually we're gonna let's ride on board there with Alan Hong.
Alan Hong might have had the man. Oh man.
You got the 62 there.
Okay.
And then right behind you, or I guess right next to you, you've got the two UNC Charlotte machines. Honestly, doing the most beautiful double pirouette I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was just gorgeous. And unfortunately, Alan Hong got tagged. But let's go and take a look at what the 62 was doing to get in that position of, I believe that was Landon Velicky.
'62 from Auburn
62?
University, caught up in some other wrecks here.
Gets tagged.
Okay.
I see.
Kiefer Phillip gets into the wall, and unfortunately, the 62 had to get spun around from that chain reaction, and it ended up being some a little what's the right word for it? Some trying to think some dances from the UNC Charlotte cars here.
Pirouette.
Pirouette, that's the right word. Thank you.
They just end up coming together, and they just both I could just put some classical music to this, and it would just be just beautiful. Wow. And then unfortunately just tags Alan Hong there. But let's go back live and see what John Hagen's up to up in P1, just kind of hanging out. You got P1.
And I mean, he's really been at the front of this race, this entire race so far. He's got 30 laps to go. One thing to note, again, he is really someone who favors these long stints, so these cautions are not to his liking right now. But Edward Sanchez and Garrett Bitton have also been, there the entire time. They've pretty much been in that top 3 for the past couple laps here. Fun fact about John Hagen here, part-time 24 hours of Le Mans driver, also former U.S. Army soldier, so a lot to offer here to the CIL in both stature and overall qualifications in racing here. So Hagen is fast and has a lot to beef that up, so
I just did some quick calculations that the average I rating for the top 10 at the moment is 35, or basically 3,600. That's impressive, and that's not even our highest I rating driver. Out of the group, I think I believe Daniel Nanny is 6,200. He was a contender. He's not a contender. That's a poor choice of words. But he was pretty high up in the points for Road to Pro, so he was on his way to making Coke. But unfortunately, he had some poor races and ended up not making it. I think our next highest driver is Mario Miranda at 5,800. So we've got quite a few drivers up here. I mean, we've had Logan Clampett up here racing, and he's 10,000. So we've got a selection of iRating up in the CIL.
Oh yeah, and you can go back and watch those on the YouTube page. You see Logan Clampett race against some of the greatest in the CIL, including Jared Kaler here. And I mean, John Hagen, even though he's newer to the scene, along with Mario Miranda. I mean, that I rating is serious, and also it's nothing to say that, these guys have skill, they have the talent, and you can see that even Edward Sanchez, Garrett Vitton, they are hanging around with these hard hitters and able to produce a great racing product here. As the pace car lights are out, back on the pit road. John Hagen yet again leads the field to the restart zone. Edward Sanchez on the outside from Baruch, trying to keep up with the Oklahoma machine as he gets a great jump coming to the green.
Green flag is away. Barney waving that right arm, and Garrett Vitton giving kind of trying to hang on there to John Hagen, but John is just an incredible rocket right off the line. We have some movement back here in about the 10th position with Kelton Quick, Oscar Enriquez, Edward Onofre, Sky Shrek, Logan Smith, Jason Wallet, Brandon Schulenberger, Jordan Byers, all just this giant conglomerate of cars right now, just trying to fight for position.
That caution, all cautions stack up the field, so we're going to see a lot of side-by-side here as you see, like we said, the top 10 here really filing out to the single file, but once you get past that, Edwin Onofre, Sky Shrek now battling for 7th position, just too wide pretty much throughout the field. You can see Brandon Schulenberger back there along with a collection of cars trying to make his way back up through the field. As Sky Shrek rockets past Edwin Onofre here for the 7th position, trying to defend here now. Into turn 1, Oscar Enriquez is trying to make his way through as well. Able to stay door to door with Edwin Onofre. You see, there's a lot of defending going into turn 3 there. You saw Edward Sanchez trying to hold off Bryce Kobler, and I think that might have been Charles Wembley actually, going into turn 3 there, but he comes out victorious now with a little 2/10 gap back to those two battling for the 4th position now.
And now you've got Charles Wembley, Bryce Kobler, Ryan Whitlock, and Sky Shrek just kind of hanging on there with that battle. But definitely the battle right now is between Bryce Kobler and Charles Wembley. Bryce having an exceptional race today. So definitely, actually, Charles as well. Charles Wembley and Bryce both having really good races. So I hope this continues on their way, and I don't give them any broadcasting or production, bad luck.
Really, this collection of 4 cars all having a great run today, trying to, make this second half of the season worth it. So you can see Wembley sends it in there on the 5. The 5 defends on the outside. Bryce Kobler is able to use that momentum coming down through the tri-oval. You can see, I think there's a potential battle for the lead here. Garrett Vitton has caught up to John Hagen. Really on the back bumper. This is the first time that I can recall in the last 50 or so laps that someone has been close to Hagen outside of the restart. So Vitton is trying to make his way to that lead and score a W for the ASU team and break the Oklahoma win streak.
Here we go. We got John Hagen. So they pit almost essentially the same lap. That number down below is the last pit stop lap that they've done. John Hagen on the 113th lap. Garrett Vitton on the 112th lap. So definitely they're running on the same set of tires, probably roughly the same fuel. So this is just down to who can wheel their machines the cleanest.
And definitely those tires are to the point of fall off from their prime their prime spot. So these cars are now trying to, conserve some tires for these last 20 laps, or pushing for it. I think Garrett Vitton right now is trying to push his way to this lead so that way he can try and, hold off John Hagen. They opened up a 1-second gap to 3rd place Edward Sanchez. So really, these two are trying to make it out into, a 1-2 battle here.
Yeah, 99 gap, or a 99 position gap, or points gap, between the two. So not really in the same championship battle. However, It's not to say that things could change. Let's say, you know, John could have an unfortunate rest of the season, and Garrett could catch up.
And I mean, John Hagan has been very consistent up at the front here. He's scored top 10 in all these races so far outside of the inaugural race at Talladega. So he is being consistent right now. And I mean, this could be a huge points day for Garrett Vitton if he's able to even finish second, but nonetheless score a win and get his way into the playoffs if he can make his way in. I believe as it sits, he is in the top 20 in this position. So if he's able to score that win, he is currently in the playoffs. But first he has to make that move, which is probably going to be hard because John Hagan is probably one of the toughest drivers to pass here. Well, really any track. As you see, Charles Wembley is on the inside of Bryce Kobler. A little bit of door-to-door action here. Kobler's leaving no room for Wembley coming out of 4. Great racing there. I mean, I don't even think there's more than 2 inches between those two cars, and now going into turn 1. Still side by side, nose to nose, not willing to give an inch.
All right, now I'd like one of you all to fess up. Who super glued these two cars together? Because they have not left their sides of their car for probably the last 10 laps. They've just been stuck together side by side. So someone somewhere super glued or you know, flex taped them, flex sealed them together. Not a sponsor, unfortunately. No, Flex Seal. If you want a sponsorship, you know, well, I'm down to have the Flex Seal, Flex Seal sponsorship.
Yeah, Flex Seal a car together. I'll be all right with that one.
Yeah, call me.
I mean, this battle has really brought these next 4 cars into it. As you see, Bryce Kobler's able to get into the 4th position now. But as I say that, Charles Wembley rockets back to the inside. I mean, really, I think the super glue's here to stay. I don't know. If whoever did this, they need to fess up.
If I'm Ryan Whitlock, I'm feeling a few things. Right now, I'm feeling annoyed that you know, I still have Sky Shrek on my butt. Ooh, as we have, I believe, who is that?
I believe that is a potential lap down car. Is that the
53? That's gonna be the 53 of a Roger Primo. As Charles was able to get away from Bryce there, but now Sky is making a move on Ryan Whitlock. Yeah, if I'm Ryan Whitlock, I think I'm gonna be frustrated because I just spent, you know, however many laps sitting behind those two, just kind of fight it out, and then, you know, I was burning up my tires, and then all of a sudden Sky gets past me. I'm gonna be frustrated that I wasn't able to get past earlier. Ooh, as I believe that was gonna be Edwin Onofre tagged the outside wall.
Yeah, and as you see, Sky Shrek sends it in there yet again into turn 1. A little door banging action there coming out of turn 2. Sky Shrek is trying to maximize all the positions she can. As you see, Edwin Onofre jump out onto the inside of Kelton Quick, trying to follow Ryan Whitlock through, going into turn 3. As the caution is out. Man, oh man. See.
Possible Ryan Primo.
Yet again, I think if I'm Garrett Vitton and John Hagan, I am not happy that caution came out, because really they were set up for those two to battle it out for the win.
Oh, most definitely.
We'll have to see what this caution is for. I don't think at this point in the race, I mean, and you can correct me, Christian, but I don't think there's any real strategy call at this point. I think these cars need to be committed, because it seems like, honestly, the tire advantage is not that big of an advantage at other tracks as it is here.
No, definitely. I mean, this is a concrete track, so it definitely changes how things work and how everything goes. Everyone is doing a pit stop, but whilst they do that, we're going to take a quick look at what possibly caused this caution. Ooh, as we have Roger Primo into the just got loose. Or let's jump back a little bit further
into the infield there. I believe this is coming out of turn 2. Whoa,
it's loose.
Yeah, and just locks it down, trying to avoid that inside wall. And iRacing saw that as a caution-worthy action. So through the yellow for the 53, as the 53 is safe and sound coming back onto the track here. Might have some scuffed tires, but if they have another set, I mean, Roger Primo can definitely get some new tires and try and rock and roll for these final 10 laps here. But Christian pointed out that the leaders did come down pit road here for this final caution here.
Yeah, people who had come down pit road, I'll list them off right now. Wesley Shaw, Bryce Kobler, Ryan Whitlock, Brandon Schulenberger, Logan Smith, Oscar Enriquez, Jason Wallet, Jordan Byers, Benjamin Fiore, Drew Williams, Jake Cummings, Clint Honnerman, Carter Cupini, Dylan Godinez, Kiefer Phillips, Jared Kaler, Logan Harpy. Oh, I already said Logan. Let's see. Alex Finnerty, Devin Defoe, R. Muhammad Ali, Landon Veldke, Esteban Munoz, and Connor Martin. As I was saying that, 7-8 more people jumped into the pit. So, so they waited a lap to jump in there. But yeah, we definitely had some of the drivers jump in. We did not have our leaders jump it in. We did not have John Hagan, Garrett Vitton, Edward Sanchez, Charles Wimbley, Sky Shrek jump into the pits. Then our first driver who did go in would have been, I believe, Kelton Quick. Did I say Kelton Quick? I did not. I think Ryan Whitlock actually, or no, Edwin. Ryan Whitlock is our first driver who went into the pits and is now back out on in P8.
So we have 7 cars here on older tires. Yet again, like we said, the tire advantage might not be as crazy as it is on other tracks. But one thing to note here from race control, it looked like the 73 and the 109 were the causes of that caution. So it seems like they were able to settle it out. And coming to 10 to go here now, well, coming to 9 to go, it's really all hold bars. I mean, it's not a green-white checkered yet, but I mean, we got to figure out, people are trying to get every position they can. And really, I think this caution might be more wild than, any, well, hopefully it's not as wild in the case of wrecking, but more wild in the case of 3 wide and some hopefully close racing here.
Now, let me ask you a question: would you have pit if you're one of those top 10 drivers? Would you have pit?
Honestly, my strategy calls might not work half the time, but I probably would have pit. I know that some of these drivers are on way older tires, comparative now at 27 laps pretty much for the entire field here. But I really think that, that once you get past 4 or 5 cars, then your tires die. So I think for Ryan Whitlock, Drew Williams, who has made his way back up to the top 10, and Bryce Kobler, you're really trying to just maximize as many positions as you can after this restart. As you see, the pace car goes in, lights off. Front 2, John Hagan, Garrett Vitton, Edward Sanchez, and Charles Wimbley behind. John Hagan leads them to the restart zone and has a huge start coming to the green.
Yeah, like you said, those drivers are the top 7. I just checked. All of those top 7 drivers had pit on lap 113. So they are on now 30 lap old tires compared to the drivers behind. Ryan Whitlock's already gained a position. Drew Williams is just powering through the field, and they're just dropping like rocks. So honestly, I think the tires were the best move there, unless you were just able to just gracefully save them the entire last stint you had there.
I think John Hagan's trying to pull away with it as he can. Edward Sanchez is now the man in charge, trying to track down John Hagan. As you see, a lot of green up in that top, 13 now, as it seems. Everyone has made their way up through this field to this point, but you see a lot of carnage back behind us. Drew Williams makes it 3 wide to the bottom of Kelton Quick. Ryan Whitlock is able to pull out of the 3 wide for the moment, as Drew Williams is trying to pass him, as well as he's able to clear Kelton Quick. And Kelton Quick is able to push Drew Williams through the tri-oval now, and the caution is out.
Oh, I don't know how to. Ooh, that's gonna mix some stuff up there.
Brandon Schoenberger, it looks like.
Oh, Kelton Quick's down. Got Jason Wallet all banged up.
Oh,
Logan Smith. Ooh, Logan Smith, I think, is missing a rear wheel.
I was gonna say that car is definitely not. It it looks like it's dancing rather than driving. Like it's
Ooh, I don't think your
yeah,
wheel's supposed to look like that. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not a good thing to have one wheel facing one way, one wheel facing another way. So yeah, unfortunately, I think the night of Logan Smith is unfortunately over. But let's take a quick look at that replay and see where we can maybe we could take a quick look at the 34 of Logan Smith and see what happened with him.
already deemed a racing incident here, so it looks like 3 wide. I mean, it's already chaotic to begin with. And yeah, I mean, 2 cars wanting to be in the same place, it seemed like. It looked like Wallet was planning for the Auburn machine here to like go down more towards Edwin and Onofre. As you see, Brandon Schoenberger gets a little airtime as well. But Glenn Holtman yet again having to skid through the infield here. But yeah, I really, again, it's that one I think is more of a racing incident than any of the other ones tonight, because I think Wallet was expecting more of a more tight racing below him.
Right, yeah, it is definitely difficult. Ooh, was that the 85? Oh, 05 of Kiefer Phillips.
Yep.
Went a little bit sideways. Let's actually take a quick ride on with Kiefer Phillips. See what happened there. I wonder if that was just an attempt to missing the wreck and kind of just ended up going sideways.
The 05 is back here battling for position, and you see the wreck happen all the way on the other side of the tri-oval here. Car's trying to get slowed down and just chain reaction in front of him, and he had to make some evasive maneuvers. Gets tagged slightly by the 321.
I see what happened there. Okay, yeah. Well, that was unfortunate there, and yeah, it's just close racing here on here at Nashville Super Speedway. And let me tell you,
what?
They're getting close. They have 3 laps to go. They are, I believe, this is going to be a natural green-white checkered. They are approaching. We might actually have a green-white checkered. We'll have to see. But they are getting dangerously close to the time limit here. CIL Cup Series or CCS sessions have a time limit of 2 hours, so they are approaching that quickly. It should be there, I believe, at 11 p.m. Eastern will be the 2-hour time limit. However, that does get extended if there is a green-white checkered. So we are in that kind of situation of where the green-white checkered and the time limit kind of play with each other a little bit.
A little gray space here, to say the least. A little uncertainty to see if a green-white checkered will come out, or really if this is the green-white checkered. We'll have to see what the pace car decides here. If the pace car lights go out this time by, it's not an official green-white checkered. It is only it works like it, but not the official. So that means if there is a caution in the first lap, there will be an official green-white checkered. So there technically may be 2 attempts here. As you see the caution lights come back off. Oh, we just got word from race control here. This is the final caution where we'll try for a green-white checkered finish. So, meaning this is the final, regardless of what happens, the final 2 laps of the race once they come back around.
Oh boy. Oh no. No way. Alright, did it solve itself?
It must have.
Ooh.
Nope.
No.
It looks like the looks like some of the software also is on a time limit as well. They want this green-white checkered done now. So, coming to the green-white checkered here, you got John Hagan, Edward Sanchez makes up your front row, Garrett Vitton, Charles Wembley behind, Drew Williams and Ryan Whitlock roll out on your row 3. And while we have the time here, this green-white checkered is brought to you by McConey Setup Shop, the home of setups, paint schemes, coaching, and more. The official setup shop of eNASCAR. Visit McConey Setup Shop today. So you see John Hagan with that Baruch machine to his outside. Coming to the restart zone, and it is green. Barney is waving that green flag, and Hagan's out to a humongous jump.
Hagan taking a really quick lead. Oh, as we get some definitely a difficulty issues here. We're having Jay Cummings in the wall.
Caution!
And the caution is out.
I believe we'll have to let the race, or we'll have to see what order they were in when the caution came out. But as it sits right now, John Hagan is your winner here in Lebanon. Edward Sanchez, second place. Charles Wembley is in third. Rounding out your top 5, Garrett Vitton takes 4th place away from Jared Kaler. And 5th place, Drew Williams rounds out your top 5. So, yet again, Oklahoma taking home another dub here. Taking it 5 for 5 to begin the CIL season. Some very historic stuff here. It seems like Hagan and Miranda just want to alternate wins here, going back and forth. Hagan now has 3 wins on the season, and I mean, it seems like Hagan he has been at the front every race, and say the less, he is fast. And
I just got confirmation that is indeed race over. That was a green-white checkered start. So yes, John Hagan is your official Nashville Superspeedway Race 5 winner of CIL.
Beautiful stuff. Great race by John Hagan. Showed his speed the entire day. Another couple cars to shout out here. Edward Sanchez and Charles Wembley, who we'll be talking to here in a moment. Finish out in your podium, and like we said, a great points haul for Garrett Vitton, and Drew Williams will be he is pretty consistent, making it another top 5 for him on the day.
Yeah, as John Hagan slowly makes his way around, and very slowly actually. I'm curious if he's running low on the fuel. Definitely quite a few cautions there to kind of account for, and that makes it difficult with fuel and a checkered. And that race last incident there on lap 150 is a racing incident with the cars 95 and 199 there. John Hagan makes his way around to the front stretch, to the checkered line, to lay down some burnouts.
Burning it down here in Nashville. Technically, it's Lebanon, as the race name says. He is, for the 3rd time this season, John Hagan burns it down.
Well, as John Hagan burns it down, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll catch you real quick, we'll be right back with the race results of the 2024 fall season Nashville Superspeedway. It's actually in Lebanon CIL race. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Hello, my name's Aaron Brown from the Garage Shop in Denver, North Carolina. We're here at the famous Bonneville Speedway in Wendover, Utah. One of the most harshest environments on the planet to race in, and that's why we need the best tools Snap-on has to offer. What we use here to pump up the oil in our race engines to prime them is this Snap-on screw gun. With its variable speed and high torque, this allows us to spin our oil pumps up to 1,500 RPMs, creating 70 pounds of oil pressure, which helps us get everything settled in, nice and happy, and turn the hot oil through the engine. Compact, lightweight, and able to fit in really tight spaces. Its 9-position clutch allows us to torque things, nuts, bolts, from 8-inch to 50-inch pounds. Small size and high performance helps us get into many places on a race car where normal tools can't. Under the dash and the engine compartment, we also use this to drill a lot of holes in very tight spots.
Welcome back, everyone. It was a great race here in Lebanon, Tennessee at Nashville Super Speedway. We saw John Hagan take the checkered flag today, and it was a great race, to say the least, here at this concrete 1 1/3 mile D-shaped oval. Let's take a look at the final results. Like we said, John Hagan, your winner here tonight from the University of Oklahoma, stretching that win streak to 5 this season. Edward Sanchez from Baruch College, his second podium. Congratulations to him. That'll be a great points haul. And rounding out your podium positions, it's Charles Wembley from Guilford College. Garrett Vitton, who we saw pretty much up front the entire time from ASU, finishes 4th place, and in 5th, your alumni winner, Drew Williams. In 6th, Ryan Whitlock from the University of Alabama, Huntsville, and in 7th, Kelton Quick from Ball State. In 8th position, we got the 5-car Bryce Kobler from Emory and Henry, Oscar Enriquez from George Mason, and rounding out your top 10 is Edwin Onofre from the University of North Texas.
Starting in P11, we have Ben Neller from Ball State University, followed by Dylan Godinez and Penn College of Technology, followed by Jordan Byers in the number 8 machine, from Penn State University, followed by Ben Fiore from Marist College. P15's Brandon Schulenberger from Wingate University in the number 7 machine. Sky Schreck, who had a great race tonight, in 16th from University of Oklahoma, followed by Lucas Moody from Ball State University. Jake Cummings, who unfortunately was involved in the last lap wreck from Converse University, who ran really well all night until, again, that last lap. And P19, Colton Halterman from UNC Charlotte, followed by P20 is Esteban Munoz from Florida International University. Our first lap down.
And as you noted, it was all of these cars a lap down or more. You see Lee Kane from the University of Southern Mississippi in 21st. Muhammad Ali in 22nd from Ball State. We saw him sit up on pole, had an unfortunate end to the race. Alex Finnerty from UNC Charlotte in 23rd. Kiefer Phillips in the 05 machine from University of Toledo. It finishes 24th. Carter Capini in 25th. Wesley Shaw from Texas A&M University Texarkana from 26th position. 27th, Devin Defoe from the University of Arizona. 28th, Alan Hong from St. Clair College. And then the 34 from Auburn University finishes 29th. And rounding out your top 30 is Jason Wallet from Drexel University.
Following up in 31st is Logan Harpine from East Tennessee State University, followed by 22nd, Jared Kaler in UNC Charlotte. Definitely a rough position there, and he ends up breaking his 4th place on consistency. Unfortunate there for Jared Kaler, followed by Ricky Paz in P33 from East Carolina University, followed by Roger Primo from Paul Smith College. Then Connor Martin from East Tennessee State University as well in P35. P36, Daniel Nanny from Ball State University, and followed by Daniel Krohn in the University of Toledo. Landon Keith, P38 from Auburn University. P39, Andrew Stagey from Ball State University, and Mario Miranda, definitely an unfortunate race for him, in P40. And the last 3 people in the race was Connor Bingle and P41, Andrew Burrell, and P42. P43 is Matthew Burton, and unfortunately Andrew McManus did not make the race tonight in P44. And that is our race CIL Cup Series race results. And I believe, Brad, you caught up with our P1 finisher of John Hagen.
Yeah, I am here with John Hagen, currently sitting in the booth. We'll get him in here real quick for his congratulatory. He might be out there still having a party after this win, as John Hagen is here with us tonight in the booth. First off, congrats, John. That was a great race. You were fast all night. Do you think there was like a particular moment or, a particular pass that really defined the race and got you to the end?
First little bit of the race, I'm figuring it out. I don't like this track at all. So this is one of my weaker tracks. I'm trying to figure out, how do I get this entry right? And how do I save my tires while getting my entry right? And so the first little bit was me figuring it out, and I definitely ate up my stuff, and it didn't help the the door-to-door racing we were having. But from there, we had a caution come out. We came down, put tires on it, and we got really lucky with the restart where the outside checked up super bad, and we cleared everybody who was on fresh tires, and we just had old tires in front of us. So I think that was really the defining moment, because then it was pretty simple to get to the lead from there, and we just held on to it the rest of the race. I thought I made a mistake at the end of stage 1 staying out, but it worked out.
I mean, for this being one of your weaker tracks, you put on a show for us tonight. It seemed like there was a lot of, you led the most laps tonight. And with that in mind, I mean, if this is one of your weaker tracks, looking forward, do you have any racetrack? I mean, I remember you spotlighted Road Atlanta coming up. Is there any other tracks that you are looking forward to here?
Oh, let me look at the schedule. I just did Road Atlanta. That's just gonna be fun because I've done it in real life, and doing it in the Sims even cooler. I love Chicagoland, and then plate racing. It's a team sport. I mean, you got a good team like we do here at OU, should be pretty all right to during the race at Atlanta, and then the playoffs. I love all the tracks in the playoffs, so it should be fun.
We're definitely here to see it, John. I mean, first things first, overall, your team and you especially had a great start to the season here. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out here tonight?
I'm going to shout out OU Esports 5 for 5. I believe that's a new CIL record for races in a row. Mario and Sky had trouble today, so I'm glad I could bring it home. It sucks for them, but they'll be back at it next week. I want to shout out John Smeal. He was my spotter today, and he's my painter. Other than what we run here, because we kept it OU internal, but he's awesome. I want to shout out all of y'all at CIL for putting on a great league and then a great broadcast to go along with it, and I hope I make it entertaining. Shout out my beautiful girlfriend. She's awesome. She's always supportive of me when I do these races, and I'm very glad that she's with me, helping me out and supporting me. I want to thank God. He's awesome. Helps me be who I am today. And shout out my family back home. They were watching again, and I'm glad they could see me put it in victory lane again.
Well, John, go celebrate tonight. That's your third win of the season, and we're hoping you can use this momentum into the back half of the regular season here and potentially and get into that playoffs. And we'll see what you can do. So have a great night, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
Christian has found his way down to the pit road now with our second place finisher from Baruch.
Yeah, we have Edward Sanchez. Let's see if we can get him here in the booth. Edward, do you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Oh boy, here we go. Well, let me just start out the thing that Edward, I had my cameras pulled up the entire night, and yes, I was seeing your waving and your enthusiasm all night. Is that how you felt? I mean, you finished P2. Is that how you felt the entire night? Were you just excited?
Absolutely not. I can tell you right now. You saw what happened earlier. I was in P. I started. I believe in the top. Yeah, I started 16th, and immediately, lap 1, turn 3. Caused a wreck. I spoke out to, I believe it was Bryce. I was trying to avoid Jason Wallet. I'm not sure if y'all saw on the replay, but Jason Wallet kind of dove there on the inside, as he should. And I kind of was also turning in, so I wiggled it a little bit. A little bit of netcode might have been there, and I went into Bryce, and then from there, the tires were destroyed. I mean, like, this track it eats you up. I mean, I slid for like a good 5 meters, and then all of a sudden, I had 90% right sides, 85% left sides. It was absolutely ridiculous. I stayed out, and I'm not sure if you saw on the replays there, but I got on a kerfuffle in P30, so I went through the grass, and no caution, thankfully. But it was just a really horrible first 30 laps. I think when the caution came out was my break. I went in, I got fresh tires, and then from there I saved tires. And you saw stage 1, I stayed out. I thought, okay, I'm gonna stay out. Let's see what I can do here, and it absolutely worked. Well, so I got P3 stage 1, and after that, I was more pumped up. I got Brandon, Schulenberger. He was right in front of me, and I was working well with him, keeping up with him, but at a time he was just eating up his tires, so I had to pass him. Green flag pit stop happened. Thankfully, I stayed out, pitted in, got out, P3. At that point, me and Garrett, who was in P2 at the time, we decided to work with each other, right? Every restart, it would be, if I was on the inside behind John, if I had a good run into turn 1, obviously I'd be out in turn 2. If Garrett was starting in third instead, he would be the one in front. So you kind of saw we were kind of taking turns fighting it out. And that's when, as you saw, I was like raising my fist, pumped up, because I realized when that caution came out, a lot of us stayed out, and it was a good enough cushion that I thought, okay, I actually have a shot for a top 3. And then of course, green, white, checkered, and that green, white, checkered, you saw me up front. I was like, this is it. I was so happy because I realized whatever's gonna happen, if there's a caution or anything in the back, I got a top 3, no matter what. I told Jake and Brandon in the back, I said, if there's a caution come out, let me know, because I was gonna floor it into turn 1, maybe try to edge out in front of John and maybe steal the win. But I gotta give credit to John, because that was one hell of a battle. I'm not sure if you guys saw him and Garrett duking it out, and I had front row seats. I was like Danny Ricciardo in Abu Dhabi 2021 watching Verstappen and Hamilton at it. It was insane. So it was just, I just loved it, because as you guys know, I got P3 2 races ago. So the momentum is strong. I feel like things are falling together, and I have a shot for this playoffs.
Yeah, I think today was your best finish in this College Cup Series to date.
Yes, absolutely. I think P4 was my best in my rookie season, and then P5 was my best last semester. So getting a P3 2 races ago, and then getting a P17, but then a P2. I mean, I just feel like Suarez going into the playoffs, like it's like a switch, like you're kind of running in the back in the midfield, and now you have opportunities ahead of you. And I've been thinking clearly, but like I said, still things to clean up. I still got to apologize to Bryce. Still got to talk to him, and yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, congratulations on your highest finish in your P2. Was there anyone you'd like to congratulate, thank, or shout out for your for tonight?
Well, definitely want to shout out my dad, who I woke up. Unfortunately, I yelled during that last green white checker. I was like, "Yes!" And then he got angry. And so hopefully he knows that I did really well tonight. He wished me luck, as well as my mom. She's on the side too, laughing. Quick shout out also to my brother Matthew. If you're watching, the comeback is here. Baruch College up top, up front. Shout out to the Baruch Esports. Definitely people that are hopefully are watching. Vortex mentioned. And lastly to the Giga Chats of CIL, Garrett, Brandon, Jake. Unfortunately, Jake got caught up in the wreck. Brandon got screwed over in that green flag pit stop, but we still stayed strong. And honorable mention to Garrett because he should have been up here in the top 3. So and also lastly, shout out to y'all, to the production team. You guys make this happen. Y'all make it worth it to race here every week, in and out, especially if it's a lot of cautions at the beginning. And I'm so glad that you guys noticed that I was so happy. I can't wait to watch back. I wasn't watching the stream, so I can't wait to watch it back with my friends. Thank you.
Yeah, well, again, congratulations there, Edward, and we hope to see you next week.
We'll see if I get first next week.
All right, and that was Edward Sanchez, P2 in the 26 machine. And I believe, Brad, you have caught up with our final interviewee, Charles Wimbley.
I am here with Charles Wimbley after a P3 finish here in Nashville. Charles, first things first, I wanted to know, this race had a lot to offer here. I mean, there was long green flag runs, there was cautions. How did you stay focused during that race?
I mean, after I got involved in the first wreck, I pretty much just zoned out, and I pretty much just did my own race. I mean, I was kind of mad, and I have historically driven my best when I just get in the zone, just push the car to the absolute limit when I'm mad. So driving all the way back up to the field, and then just taking everything lap at a time, focusing on my tires, and then ending up having that very good battle with the 5 car. It was definitely one of the top 3 battles I've ever had in any forms of racing, really. So to be able to get a good result, actually improve on qualifying, which has been a struggle of mine this season. Hopefully we could bring more of this momentum to the season and start pointing our way in or getting close to a win to get ourselves into the playoffs.
And we were watching that battle between you and the 5 car. It was electric. And using the momentum you got tonight after his P3 finish, how are you feeling going into these next set of 3 tracks before the playoff cut line?
I mean, just having, like I said, having good momentum to roll with is everything in this. Obviously, there's things that I still want to improve in myself. Not even close to satisfied in my driving yet. Just hoping to improve day by day, practice day by day. I mean, last year we were in the playoffs, won a race at Bristol, and then we didn't quite make the championship for that season. And my goal this year was to make the championship for. So just obviously new competitors, new season. The competition has gone up tremendously. So as you can see with University of Oklahoma, just viewing my weaknesses, seeing what I could do to improve them and minimize them, and just having good results and showing what we're really capable of. So I'm really glad that our true selves were able to perform today the way that we should be doing every week.
And it was on full display tonight, Charles. But do you have anyone that you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, my mom, my dad, Jima and Karn. They're everyone's big fans when they watch the series. Aerial work, good for college, and everyone helps make this possible. Really grateful to be racing in the series again. You guys do a really good job commentating and putting on display what we all do and all the practice and all the hours we do. So being able to perform in this level with a bunch of great schools and a bunch of great drivers, it's always a highlight of my collegiate career. So very grateful to be able to be racing with such great competitors, schools, and just got to lock in for these extra races. I mean, everyone has the same goal. Everyone wants to keep going. So no plans on stopping now, and we'll look over to the next race.
Well, we're excited to see that playoff push, Charles, and thank you for joining us tonight, and have a great night.
Thank you. You too, guys.
and that was Charles Wembley from Guilford. Well, first things first, Christian. I mean, this was an exciting race. A lot of different strategy calls, a lot of different things happened, a lot of different variables. What are your thoughts following this race here?
Oh man, that the playoffs just got totally just kind of flipped on their head. I mean, Drew Williams, he got fifth, but then you got Garrett Vitton, who just kind of skyrocketed. Edward Sanchez as well. John Hagan's what is a third win. It was an incredible race tonight, and I think this is only going to get even better throughout the entire regular season, and then into the playoffs, and then into the championship four. I think this is going to be one of our most competitive seasons to date.
Absolutely, and I think everywhere you saw in the standings there was some type of battle. So going into next race and the next set of races here, first we have the next race at Road Atlanta, race 6 of the Garage Shop College Cup Series on October 7th, next Monday. Coverage starts at 8:30 p.m. for the pre-race show. Followed up, there's the Formula Series, race 5 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Formula College Series. That is this Wednesday at 8:45 p.m. The Oval Series, so last week they did the road circuit of it. This week it is the traditional oval set for Indianapolis Motor Speedway, so don't want to miss that. And finally, there is the Collegiate Sports Car Challenge, the second race at Road Atlanta, which also the Cup Series is going to here next week, but that is not until October 17th. So a little bit of a hiatus there, but don't want to miss that race either. The show starts at 8:30, and it'll be an exciting one there. So for me, my co-host and producer, Christian, we are a man of many, many talents. After a night of very intense racing, some door-to-door action, I'm happy to wrap up the show. It's calling the action tonight. Again, me and Christian. Thank you for everyone who joined us tonight, and especially who is here till the very end of the stream here. We hope you all have a great rest of your night. Stay tuned for our social media pages and for all of our updates and weekly races. And thank you to the entire staff for bringing in the work. For working to bring these races to you, not only for the production team, but also the management team in the CIL. This has been a production of the Collegiate iRacing League, and we'll see you next time.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Hello, my name's Aaron Brown from the Garage Shop in Denver, North Carolina. We're here at the famous Bonneville Speedway in Wendover, Utah. One of the most harshest environments on the planet to race in, and that's why we need the best tools Snap-on has to offer. What we use here to pump up the oil in our race engines to prime them is this Snap-on screw gun. With its variable speed and high torque, this allows us to spin our oil pumps up to 1,500 RPMs, creating 70 pounds of oil pressure, which helps us get everything settled in, nice and happy, and turn the hot oil through the engine. Compact, lightweight, and able to fit in really tight spaces. Its 9-position clutch allows us to torque things, nuts, bolts, from 8-inch to 50-inch pounds. Small size and high performance helps us get into many places on a race car where normal tools can't. Under the dash and the engine compartment, we also use this to drill a lot of holes in very tight spots.